It's fun. It's such a fun show. Yeah.
You guys make it that.
Yeah, we love it. We've gotten really good feedback this year. A lot of views, a lot of sharing in it, which is good to see. We got 3 sponsors on it now. And, so I produce for Pam in the morning on the radio.
Yeah, I've heard you guys listen well. Because I'm driving in between 7 and 7:15 every day.
Oh, man, that's...
I'm listening.
The AultCare YouTube Game of the Week is brought to you by SARTA, Friends and Family Credit Union, CKP Heating and Cooling, Altman Health System, Sugardale Meats, Old Carolina Barbecue, Sarshone Automotive Group, Menchie's Brothers, Novellus, Papa Gyros, and AultCare, because you matter.
Welcome to the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week as we bring you playoff football here at High School. Orange Lions travel to Northwest, round 1 of high school football playoff action. Billy Beebe with you, Mike Cilona with time. Mike in just a second here. Frank Cilona down on the sideline. Mike, we appreciate you joining us tonight with AultCare currently, but a Stark County football legend, baseball legend, basketball too, right?
Played all that as well.
We want to get your resume out there, and we're excited to have you tonight.
Well, please know it's a joy and an honor to join the team. I think it's the 8th year, and you guys cover it beautifully on all levels. So When I was asked, I was all in. I consider this a joy and an honor. We'll just be there with you tonight, Billy Beebe.
Well, we appreciate that. And again, Mike, a legend in not only the community, but what he did at Minerva High School. You got 2 Purple Raiders with you tonight, talking a little Mount Union. At some point, we're excited to do that. And, of course, playoff football. What a matchup we have here. Division IV, Region 13, a 7-3 team, an 8-2 team. Really, I mean, they could have been opposite. They could have switched. So let's talk about this matchup here, Mike. Northwest, a terrific regular season, and they closed it out with a great victory last week at Canton South. But 8-2 for John DeMarco. He celebrates his 1,000th win in playoffs.
How about that? You think about Northwest, I'll say perennial playoff contender, and they do great. Finished second in the back this year. 8-2, as you mentioned, or come in at the 6th seed. But here's an interesting statistic about Northwest that'll bridge us into our Orange Lions as well. This year, Northwest has scored 25 points or more in 9 of their 10 games. Only once that they scored less than 25 points. Chase Badger completing 70% of his throws, and he's also the lead. Reggie Jackson of this particular event tonight, the straw that stirs the drink here as we start November playoff football. But Coach DeMarco brings a great passing attack with the opportunity to balance his run game and keep you off balance all night long. It's going to be a good one on that side of the ball. Pay attention.
Yeah, but Northwest going to have their hands full on defense. Orange has played really, really well at 7-3, high-scoring offense, and you don't like to say they're stars in high school football because it's all about team and it is about team unity and whatnot, Mike, but Northwest has a star in Chase Badger, and so do the Lions.
Lions have one in Russell Ty, number 3. And you're going to enjoy, number 5. You're going to enjoy him because he set single-season records in both touchdowns and yards rushing. An interesting fact about the Orange Lions, they've scored 30 points or more in 9 of their 10 games. So they've only scored less than 31 times. So let's take a math on that. 30 or more, 25 and more. I think the scoreboard lights are going to be busy, and you're going to get a chance to see something that's really special for Orange. One more backstory. They were 4-32 the last 4 years.
Wow.
Haven't been in the playoffs since 2018, and now they get here at 7-3 out of the Chagrin Valley. A big season for them. They're hopeful to continue it here on the road at Northwest.
Yeah, that's a terrific turnaround. We're excited to bring you the game live here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Before we send it down to Frank Cilona, Mike, I know you've done some coaching in your time. Obviously, we talked about your playing career. How important is it during the week leading up to a playoff game to keep a regular schedule and kind of do what you've done all season?
It's absolutely important because there's a lot of extra hype. Folks want statistics. They want you to do interviews. They want you to be maybe out at a dinner. The thing you do is keep it small. You rep things out. We call it form, fit, finish. What's the form, which simply means what's our attack going to be? We fit it to our game plan, and we make sure that we finish. If we get outside of those 3 words, then we're distracted. So, Bill, you ask a great question. You got to stay with your form, fit, and finish all week long as you move into the second season of the year.
Great insight from Mike there. That's what we're going to get all night from the legend we have with us tonight. Down on the sideline, Frank Cilona. It is playoff football. We are at Northwest. Doesn't get much better.
No, it doesn't, guys. And I tell you what, this is finally football weather. I actually have a coat and a hoodie on tonight. So I think the guys are going to like this a little bit more than playing in that 75-degree weather that they've played in for 10 weeks. So it is exciting to be here. And I want to kind of piggyback off of what Mike said about this Orange team. Also, Russell Ty certainly is their main guy. Jonah Fry is their quarterback. A good quarterback, but he relies on Ty to throw the ball, because if Ty is playing well, that opens up that passing game. And Eli Robinson is one of the receivers, number 3, that he'll be targeting a lot tonight. But I like my chances with Northwest. We've covered them all year. Chase Badger's the real deal. He's got 4 wide receivers out there that can play. They can play with anybody in the state. And then they've got Parker Kraft, who's back after being injured for middle part of the year, and he's ready to play. These guys are ready. I can tell by just the way they're warming up tonight that Northwest is focused, and they're ready to play some football tonight.
Thank you, Frank. We'll be checking in with Frank down on the sideline, brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union all night long. Excited to bring you live high school football playoff action. 80 years of high school football on WHBC. It is the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
This is Brian Bailey of Old Carolina Barbecue Company. It's pigskin time in Northeast Ohio, and you know that Old Carolina is the official barbecue of football. So if you've got plans to gather at a tailgate or in front of a big screen TV, be sure your buffet line is full of hearty party food. We've got tender hand-pulled pork to make all-pro sliders and hickory-smoked deep-fried wings that will score big points with your party guests. We're covering football fans at our 3 convenient locations in Canton, Massillon, and Alliance. Order online today at oldcarolina.com.
Get your day started with Pam Cook. She's like your own personal smartphone, and she's fully charged.
True. We're a year older, and as we get...
Hopefully we're a year wiser. That's the key.
Yes, that's for sure.
Hopefully, oftentimes not so much.
1480 WHBC.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week as we bring you playoff football here on the WHBC YouTube channel. Excited to have you for Week 11 football action. 80 years of high school football on 1480 WHBC, and we're celebrating it in style tonight between the Orange Lions and the Northwest Indians. 7-3 team against an 8-2 team, as we were saying earlier in our pregame, easily could switch. Billy Beebe, Mike Cilona, Frank Cilona, and Bob Jeffries with you tonight as we are excited to get into this one. Just a couple minutes away from our Novellis kickoff. We want to thank all our sponsors before we get this one going. As I said, the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. We appreciate AultCare. They've sponsored us for multiple years now and great partners. Mike, an AultCare guy, so we're excited to have you in the booth with us tonight.
Glad to be a part of it, and we value and cherish our relationship. We will always be fuel for what you guys are doing. Count on that.
Appreciate that.
You
Appreciate
bet.
that. Other sponsors tonight, we will have the Novellis kickoff, as I said. Every time we go to Frank Cilona, it's brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union, bringing a friend into the family. The Sarda Scoring Drives, which will have Mike read throughout the night. As you said, Mike, we're looking to see the scoreboard light up with these two teams, so we'll try and keep you busy reading those. Our player of the game, the Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game, could be a tough call at the end of this one, so stick around for the end of the game for that. And the Sugardale Key Play Replay, one of the benefits of having Claxon Communications with us. They're a great team. They're going to throw us the Key Play Replay tonight, and we appreciate them not only tonight, but throughout the whole season. As the Northwest Indians take the field, we are excited to get into this one. Mike, you broke these two teams down a little bit earlier, special players, what they've done this season, but some other notes about this matchup tonight. I mean, even just a playoff atmosphere.
As I think about the teams, and as our viewers watch this unfold, here's what I would guide your listening and viewing to. Watch how Northwest attacks the box, which simply means from where a typical tight end would be to another typical tight end. And see if they're going to stretch and throw right away or if they're going to test it with what we call run-pass options or RPOs. So they're going to feel that out a little bit. When you take a look at Orange on that side of it, they're going to want to establish the line of scrimmage to get the running game going. Their identity really comes through Russell Tye and the ability to run the football first and then get the ball outside. They're a really nice receiver, Eli Robinson, 44 catches and 10 touchdowns. But that's not what they want to do first. So as you watch this unfold, watch Northwest try to stretch the field and create space for themselves. Orange is going to say, we want to run that football, and we're going to make sure you know that.
So you expect them to go at it right away?
Right away, and then use that to set up their play action or their boot game. So running as a, say, preference early on for Orange, certainly with Northwest, they're going to stretch it, open up space, and get the ball to playmakers.
Our Novellis kickoff coming up here in just a second. We'll go down to the sidelines. Friends and Family Credit Union check-in with Frank Cilona. Frank, any final thoughts before we watch this one get going?
Well, one of the things that stood out to me when I was looking at this team from Orange or from Pepper Pike, their 3 losses, 50 points, 62 points, and 50 points that they gave up in those 3 losses. So if this Northwest offense can get going, good things will happen.
Good note there, Frank. Thank you very much. We'll check in with Frank throughout the night. The Friends and Family Credit Union check-in there. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Novella's kickoff up and underway. Northwest won the toss and deferred, so the Lions will get it first, and it hits out of bounds. Here we go, folks. Round 1 of the playoffs, Division 4, Region 13. The winner of this game will play the winner of Streetsboro and Cardinal Mooney. Frank will give us some score updates from all around Stark County. We'll read through those matchups for you in just a second. We'll also have our CKP heating and cooling starting lineups up there for you as the Indians take defense first here tonight. And, Mike, they're going to have their hands full.
For sure, and you take a look at that opening kickoff, you say, how come Orange has the ball at the 12-yard line when there was not a tackle? Well, the receiver at that point in time, Avery Goldman, had his knee on the ground when he caught the kickoff.
Lions with it first as a drop back to pass. It's a deep ball. Let's get the playoffs going. That one deep but way and away from the receiver. So Jonah Fry gets it going, but Mike, we expected the run to get this going. They start with the deep ball.
And you know what? Maybe that's what they thought Northwest was going to think, too, because they went right to Robinson, didn't they?
Looked pretty good coverage.
Little play action, then releasing. Now, look, they're going to go quick, bringing him back to trips.
It is a give to Ty. Gets room on that left side and a couple more yards up to the 15-yard line. Russell Ty, 188 carries this year, 1,600, almost 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns. Pick a high school. Odds are they don't have that number for their starting running back.
No, that real production, Billy, real production. You saw what they did last time. They set the formation and then got Russell back to the backside to see if they could free him up.
Orange going to sport their white jerseys, black numbers, and orange helmets. Toss to the left, almost picked off and yet almost caught. Incomplete on the right side of the field. It went through the hands of Devin Simon for Northwest, and then an opportunity for Cole Schriebman to make the catch. Neither gets it, and it looks like the Lions will have to punt.
Well, Billy, great job by the Indians sitting tight in their zone. They let the pass pattern action not get their eyes caught up, and it all could have been a pick six had we not had that slip and fall.
Punt back, 2 returners there for Northwest, fielded at the 50, room on that left side, trying to create a little extra, now to the 40. Room now to the right, that whole right side's open if he can get it, he does. Carson Nicky rolling down the right side to the 20, to the 25, and finally flows out of bounds. He dedicated to the left, saw that whole right side open. All he had to do, Mike, was get that room back, and he did.
Boy, got a flag, guys.
As you watch the flag unfold and take a look at what the penalty might be, that's just an athlete saying, I'm going to my punt return that we've called, and if I don't like it, now it becomes my ability against theirs.
Good eyes on Frank Cilona down on the sideline for us as it is backed up now for the Indians. Unfortunate after a terrific play made by Carson Nicky.
Penalty against the Indians.
And it is on Northwest. I'll make a bold claim here, though, Mike. I don't think that's the last time we'll see Carson Nicky tonight.
Anytime the ball can be in his hands, it will be productive for Northwest, so they're going to do that a high percentage of the evening.
Carson's come on the Saturday morning huddle with us multiple times this season as it was holding on the Indians. He's been a great guest, very well spoken, all about the team, all about the culture here at Northwest, and you can tune into the Saturday morning huddle. We're back tomorrow morning, every Saturday, 10 a.m., Facebook or YouTube. So if you're on the go, if you want to rewatch, whatever you want to do, go ahead and do that. Facebook and YouTube, 1480 WHBC, and be sure to subscribe. You're already watching us on YouTube. Why not subscribe?
Pop right in and see us. Yeah, Billy, they actually had a choice of 2 penalties there, and they took the illegal block in the back for the greatest part of the yardage they could get via penalty.
Shotgun formation for the Indians, starting off 1st and 10 at about the 32. Badger's got it. He's in trouble, trying to get out of trouble, and it finds him eventually. Looked like a possible draw play, and credit the Lions. They got him there quickly.
Billy, something to watch as you're watching offensive and defensive line play. We say look at the pad level. So if your shoulder pads are lower than your opponent's, you're usually winning the line of scrimmage. At that point in time, Orange just beat blocks and got off blocks.
You just saw our CKP heating and cooling starting lineups, highlighted by this great receiving core and a great running back. Taking it up the middle for the Indians. And it looked to be Parker Kraft getting some room up there, just short of a first down.
Boy, Billy, Coach DeMarco, great job there. He saw that Orange is committing to what we saw edge blitzing, so they put pressure on the edge. They went inside trap up inside. one less man to block. Great call.
More from the Orange defense there on the CKP heating and cooling starting lineup. That defensive back group will have to work hard tonight. Indians in trouble again, and the Lions bolting through to cause trouble. Looked to be number 79 on that one.
Brendan Wang, I think, number big 74 came popping through there. Unblocked, untouched.
We've seen some early pressure from the Lions. You talked about it, Mike. How would the offensive scheme and the defensive scheme adapt to each other?
You have great observation, Billy, because that's exactly what's happening. You see the four-man front from Orange, and they're sometimes doing a little twist, little gap.
Big fourth down here. Badger stepping up. Got to find a receiver. Towards the end zone. Batted down. He had his man, threw it short, and the Lions made sure to make the smart play and just make sure that's in the ground. A turnover on downs. Unfortunate for the Indians, Mike, but when you have that type of marking down the field and you have that ability to, that's almost like a punt.
Boy, amen. What was great there is Badger climbed the pocket beautifully, made a very nice throw into the end zone, but Eli Robinson, a defensive back / receiver, made a very athletic play. Had that ball been just elevated a little more, that was a touchdown.
Good field position for Northwest there, so they thought, why not? We'll try for it. Orange comes back out on offense. Pepper Pike area team. They are the Lions. Second drive on offense for Pepper Pike. Haven't seen much of Russell Ty as he'll get a carry here. In the backfield, they drive him back. Just got to finish the tackle now, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Indians to at least cause some trouble. And a look at the Lions offense now with our CKP heating and cooling starting lineups. And I don't know, can we talk more about Russell Ty and the season he's had?
Not at all. Matter of fact, you're seeing different ways they're getting in the ball. That last play was a sprint option to the weak side, and Northwest did a great job with it. But, boy, they're putting it in his hands all that they can.
Shotgun again. It's going to be a quick pass high. Caught and rocked back at the 26-yard line. Made it into the hands of Schriebman, but not for long as he's still down recovering from that hit. And Northwest quick to the ball there.
Watch Landon Cross. Closed beautifully with that. So it was a little ball fake. We call that the flanker screen idea. But Landon Cross did a great job of closing while the ball was in the air. Textbook tackle.
Cross and Nicky make up that free safety, strong safety group for Northwest. 3rd and 12. Stepping up. Time to make something happen. Fry lobs it. Incomplete towards the sideline. And what we expected to be high-flying points on the board is a defensive battle through 3 possessions. And we'll bring in our fourth member here in Bob Jeffries. And Bob, statistically, nothing's really popped yet for either of these offenses.
I thought this was going to be a high-scoring game. Come on, 3 and outs, actually a 4 and out for Northwest. So, yeah, defense showing up tonight.
Plenty of time left in this one, of course. And like you just said there, Bob, defenses have been making plays, which always a back and forth makes it better. There's going to be a penalty here. Looks to be on the Indians. Not sure. Did you catch what that was there, Frank?
Yeah, it looks like 52 jumped off sides there.
Yep.
A little early in the backfield.
Good catch there, Frank. Colin Smith just went on the sound count instead of the ball. Not unusual. It's 4th and 12. We'll see what they want to do at 4th and 7.
Shouldn't change the idea too much, but we'll see. Never know what the Lions want to do, and it is on the Lions.
Something unique happened there that we didn't see overtly.
And so Orange will have to back it up a little bit. One of the benefits when you tune in with us here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, live is one thing. We appreciate you joining us as we bring you high school football playoff action. Our Frank Cilona did a pregame interview that will air on the Old Carolina Barbecue halftime show. Punt almost blocked. It will drop and roll. Now Nicky's going to take it. Made a nice move to get back to the 40 before he takes a few hits. That's a tough player right there.
Yeah, you can tell playmakers are getting the ball into their hands, Northwest as well as Orange, just finding ways. And as Bob shared earlier, we thought we were going to have points. The defenses right now are stout, but now it'll be fun to watch the chess match occur.
Northwest was just about in that Sarchione red zone down there and went for it on 4th. Couldn't quite get there. They'll try to do it again as they start 1st and 10 right at the Lions' 40-yard line.
Billy, don't be surprised. You might see a screen as Green continues to put pressure on.
It's a give to Parker Kraft. He's got room on the left. Hits the 50, gets loose towards the 40, went towards the sideline, now back towards the middle and to the 25-yard line. A mad dash by Parker Kraft.
Where the senior did a great job. Coach DeMarco got him what they say out the backside, which meant they set the formation and all the look, and here comes out the backside. Picks up a nice block downfield, and then speed on speed.
34-yard run and our first down of the game.
There it is, just short of the Sarchione red zone. Thank you, Bob, for that stat. 3 receivers right for the Indians. They'll try to take advantage of that, and yet Badger looks left and completes it to the 15. A nice catch, a nice give and go. Landon Cross up to the 10-yard line. Here comes Northwest.
Billy, there's rhythm in it right now. You're seeing that back foot plant. Ball is out. Watch the receivers. Boom, timing, reception to the sideline. Everything's in sync.
And, of course, possibly Orange fell for it like I did. I'm looking at all those receivers on the right side, Mike, and next thing you know, I don't think Badger ever took his eyes off Cross.
Nope, he took a look at his safety and then where the coverage was set, and he knew he had backside basically one-on-one.
Now there's 2 receivers on that left side. Kraft on the hip of Badger in the Sarchione red zone. Badger lofts it backside of the end zone, and Cross couldn't get to it. No flag, everything clean there, incomplete.
Billy, Badger did a great job there, seeing no safety at all, and they were coming with what we would call max pressure, so he goes outside to the one-on-one. Great read there.
Now, guide people watching through it, Mike, is that the first thing he's going to look at every time, or just on those sort of plays as the safety?
On those certain plays, he's going to look down. If there's no safety and it's a pass, he right away knows where his check's going to be. Now they're back zone.
Badger again, looking to his right, scrambling, finally gets a chance to dump it to his receiver. Finally wrapped up and brought down. It was Ullman. So Badger spreading the ball around a little bit, but not much gain for Northwest. As Mike said, they're in rhythm, but now slowing down a little bit as they get towards the goal line. What a season it has been for the Indians. They start off playing 2 quarterbacks, switching back and forth. They lose Parker Kraft, who's a big part of their offense, to injury for about 6 weeks. Well, fast forward 8 weeks, Chase Badger's up for Stark County Player of the Year, and Parker Kraft is running like a madman in the playoffs.
How about a negative turning into 2 positives? And you don't know until you know your people. So credit John DeMarco and his staff understanding who their players are.
And it was never a competition at the quarterback position. He said, I have 2 good quarterbacks. Why wouldn't I use them one way or another? As we do get a timeout here from Northwest, they'll take a timeout. We'll take a timeout. You are watching the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
What's Dad doing up there? Trying to smoke his own bacon. Weird.
Sugardale has been slow smoking and perfectly seasoning bacon for more than 100 years. So you're sure to get that same craveable taste every single time. Sugardale, leave the hard work to us.
Northwest going to try and find the end zone on this 3rd down. Over the middle, it's tipped and incomplete. Almost picked off. Once again, almost picked off, almost caught, as Badger took a risk to try and get Northwest in the end zone early. Billy Beebe, Mike Cilona, Frank Cilona, and Bob Jeffries with you on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Pepper Pike Orange standing up on defense there. What a play by what looked to be their free safety, Avery Goldman.
Yeah, for sure. They're trying to get into Musleaf, so he looked him off. Badger looked him off, but the safety stayed home and made a nice play on the ball. It's a calculated play, Billy, because he went underneath. Now we get a field goal try here.
Ben Shantz wants to put Northwest on the board. They've been to the red zone 2 times now. Want to take advantage of it on this second one. Shantz, it is up. It's rolling towards that right side. No good. An opportunity missed there for the Indians. And let's go down to Frank Cilona on the sidelines with Friends and Family Credit Union. Frank, while we were in that timeout, what were the Indians trying to scheme up, or what was the energy on that sideline?
Well, there's a lot of confidence, certainly. One of the things I've noticed down here, guys, is that the speed of Northwest seems a little bit faster than Orange. And I don't know that Northwest has not been known for a speedy team, but down here on the field, you can almost sense that they're the faster team tonight.
Something to watch for there. We appreciate it, Frank. Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
I'm sorry, Bill. I was going to say, Frank makes a good point because over the course of a game, when speed becomes a factor, angles become really important because you run through them. If a team is slow or a little tired, an angle is bad, and all of a sudden a 10-yard play turns into a 40-yard play. So we'll watch that unfold. Good observation, Frank.
As we got a quick stoppage here, I'll ask you on the other side of things, Mike, what can a less speedy team do to kind of make the difference and make up ground?
What you want to do in those cases is make sure that you have your defensive into a structure so that you're not exposed, where if somebody gets beat, you want to have somebody else around.
And here's the speed of the Northwest defense catching up to Ty quickly. Looked to be no gain for Orange as this 1,600-yard rusher being kept in check right now by the Indians.
Well, it's almost as if Orange throwing the ball just enough to loosen you to try to get Ty free. Well, Northwest is balancing both right now.
Extra blocker up front for the Lions there. Something to notice. Back to pass. Throw. Caught. Room to work to the 40, to the 50. It's going to be a back and forth between speed here to the 20. So close to the end zone, and there it is. That's a touchdown for the Orange Lions.
No, he's down at the 1.
Tough marking. But Avery Goldman caught it over the middle and went flying down the field. And we're talking about how Orange wants to run it. They complete a huge pass there.
Billy, what Northwest did is they committed the corner to a man-to-man coverage on the back, and that the safety got there late, and it was a post pattern, so he was out of position. So they just got him on a seam, and there was the angle. Then he had no recovery point at that point. They've committed to a particular defense. Safety got a little bit over-rotated.
And we've got a flag down.
Sideline warning.
On Orange. So the Lions trying to take advantage of that long gain. Bob, yardage on that one?
79 yards. So just one short. I swear he's like on the half-yard line, too.
Guys, he's at least maybe 6 inches from the goal line. That's
how
close
I tried to hold off. I felt comfortable about that one, but
it's as close as you can get.
Frank, did the pylon cam show you that?
I am the pylon.
Yeah, I was going to say
right
Frank is.
That's why I'm winking.
Still no score here with 5:26 left in the first quarter, but the Lions looking to get on the board. That'll be a quick give to Ty, that left side, and he's into the end zone. That 79-yard gain on a pass. Deliver it to your star running back. On the road early. Orange has the lead now as they look to make it 7-0.
But what's interesting to watch is there's your favorite lineman with your favorite back, so it's an identity play. Watch this go on the backside. Look at the wall that the guard and tackle created. Sealed off the running lane, and Ty only needed just about a yard to get himself into that running lane.
It was Jonah Frey to Avery Goldman that set up that touchdown run by Ty, and it'll be 7-0 Orange to start this one early. What was a defensive battle may have just turned over here, Mike.
You start to see teams getting comfortable, and of course they're unlocking a game plan, but guys still need to make plays. So in that case, Orange made a great play to a playmaker, and that was an 80-yarder that set up the score. Now we get to see Northwest's response.
Just a reminder, our other games tonight, like I said, 80 years of high school football on WHBC, bringing you 3 games every Friday night. The Altman Health Systems radio game of the week, Hoover at Lake. Folks, if you get a chance to tune into that one at some point or re-listen on Monday night or Monday morning, that was a game-winning field goal game 2 weeks ago, so that should be a good one there. And Parma Normandy at McKinley. The Pups played Massillon very well Saturday. They've been a top-ranked Division I team all season. They look to do so and prove it in the playoffs. We'll get to our start of scoring drive from Mike here in just a second as Orange will kick off. The Lions hold that 7-0 lead. 5:17 left in the first. Northwest has been on the other side of the field twice now, but hasn't come away with any points. A turnover on downs and a missed field goal. Kraft to return. It'll be Saab kicking off. And Kraft, you can never tell he had I believe it was a dislocated or even broken ankle that he recovered from. Back deep, Kraft has eyes on it, but he'll let it roll away. And Mike, that's our scoring drive from the Lions.
Boy, absolutely. 5:17 of the first quarter, 3-play possession. Total time of that possession, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Of course, 80-yard drive, and the big part, as you see coming up here, the post pattern on the crossing route. Let that finish up for you, and then you see the 1-yard touchdown run by Russell Ty. Extra point by Adam Saab was good. And Orange 7, Northwest 0 was set up by that 79-yard pass to Avery Goldman. And you saw that on the replay. Thank you, Bob.
Northwest will give to Kraft. Parker Kraft creates some room. To the 40, almost got it loose to the 50. An ankle tackle brings him down, but Parker Kraft, second time tonight, he's had one of those bigger runs.
Billy, similar play we saw earlier. They set the formation, come back out the backside. Here he comes up inside the basically base blocks. And he read a nice running lane. And, boy, when you get to that next level, speed really runs through tackles.
Look at those open holes for him to pile through. And something to note about that touchdown, I didn't mention, Mike. Jonah Frey took a heck of a hit as he delivered that ball. Badgers in the shotgun now as the Indians look to keep it moving. It'll be Kraft again. It'll be Kraft getting loose again to the 40. Parker Kraft trying to get all of it. He'll at least get to the 20-yard line. And the Indians are leading right now on their senior running back to go playmaking.
Oh, Billy, great job by Northwest. Orange committed a linebacker blitz to this bottom side, 17. He gets picked up very nicely by the offensive front there. Luke Subtilian was the critical block that sprung the great run.
Really feels like they ran the same play twice in a row there.
Parker Kraft over 100 yards now.
Badger in trouble. He's got to keep it. Chase Badger gets to that sideline and gets taken down at the 6-yard line. Quarterback wants in on the running game.
How about Bob Quick? We got that 100-yard rusher already, and we are just finishing up our quarter. So you start to see the offensive line up front for Northwest. Again, watch the push. Whoever wins the line of scrimmage the first yard is usually having their way. So if you're not sure where the ball is, just watch your offensive and defensive fronts. You'll see who's winning the battle.
Badger takes the snap, give. Kraft maneuvering, slipping, sliding into the end zone. Parker Kraft got a little slippery through the defense. And a guy that only had 200 yards heading into this game because of an ankle injury may have 200 yards by halftime. Parker Kraft into the end zone.
And what a good answer by the Indians. And they did it on the ground. And really with some great fundamental football, setting formation, coming back with great offensive line play. And, boy, that answer was just what the Indians needed to breathe that confident life back into them.
Ben Shantz going to try and tie it at 7. He could use this confidence builder after a missed field goal earlier. Snap back, ball down. It was down there for a minute, but he'll get it to go through. Tied at 7 early. We'll get you a scoring drive and more coming up as we take a break on the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Who rides SARTA? You do. You, your neighbors, coworkers, or the people behind you at the grocery store. Our riders are moms, dads, students, retirees, and commuters. To help persons with disabilities, our ProLine countywide service picks them up and takes them direct to their destination. SARTA riders tell us they appreciate and enjoy all the places we can take them and how we help the community. That's how you get into SARTA and where you get super SARTA Smart.
Saturday Morning Huddle with Kenny Rhoda, Billy Beebe, and the WHBC sports team.
How about the big fella rumbling 70-plus yards for the touchdown, Tate? What was that like watching Trevor Burek take it the distance?
He did what he was supposed to do. He got the ball, and I mean, the whole entire, I just remember pushing Coach Cap. It was just ridiculous. He did not go down. He surprised everybody with his speed, but yeah, it was like mayhem on the sideline.
WHBC Sports. It's more than just the game.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week live, round 1 of the playoffs. Now tied at 7. We'll get you your SARTA scoring drive in just a second. Lions get the chance to return from the 20, easily get into the 30 into the 35. And Mike Galena, that's SARTA scoring drive.
How about that? I'll say a quick answer by the Indians. So much so that it happened at the 4:16 mark of the first quarter. That possession was 1 minute and 1 second. and 4 plays that covered 80 yards. Finished up with a 7-yard TD run by Parker Kraft. And the extra point by Ben Shantz was good. We're all tied up at 7. And Parker Kraft has 5 carries for 110 yards already in a touchdown. That's somebody's game total, and he's got that in the first quarter. Thank you, Bob.
Great stuff by Parker Kraft early. Our start of scoring drive there as the Orange Lions return to the field offensively after they got a score earlier.
Check out that formation on the top, Billy and group.
Back to pass. Frey will throw. Gets complete to his receiver just past the first down marker. And the Indians swarm to the ball. Give them credit there, but the Lions starting to open up that pass attack a little bit.
How about that, Billy? You're right. They took a unique formation. We called a stack split on that top side. Then they ran a slant through the middle with the tight end and then brought the wide receiver back. So he just cleared it out and came back to the open space. Nice play. Good concept.
That offensive line, plenty of time there for their quarterback to make the throw. Now they'll go back to Russell Tye. He gets a nice gain of about 4.5 yards. Going through that Orange offensive line that's played well to start here. Brandon Wong, Xavier Winston, Andy Moraisi, Rami Bodis, Austin Thomas, and Oliver Ambrimson.
Big up front for those Orange Lions. And you saw that pass play was nicely set up to soften the front in the box, and then, of course, they come right back to Tye with a little inside trap, see if they could spring him.
And you know, Mike, if they do their job, you won't notice, but if they don't, you'll definitely notice.
100%.
Tye gets the flip on that left side. He's in trouble, ducks back in, and it's enough time for the Indians to get there quickly as they continue to contain Russell Tye early. It's a great tackle by Northwest, and that was Landon Cross who's making the difference on both sides of the ball.
Boy, Billy, you're right on with that tackle. That's a one-on-one tackle in space against a 1,600-yard back. That's a nice play.
I think when people think free safety, they think ball in the air, make a play, but free safeties can do a lot more.
That's part of that form and fit. Form and fit, get up in there and then finish, and boy, he did a great job with his finish.
3rd down and 6 for Orange. 3 receivers on that right side to watch if they want to pass it. Frey, he'll give to his running back. Room up the middle, he gets a first down. Paces the sideline to the 30 and finally knocked out of bounds by Joe Musleave. Northwest blinked, and Russell Tye was heading up the sideline.
Boy, Billy, Brandon Wong, the left tackle, pointed to the blitz. He points to the blitz, lets his quarterback know, here comes the blitz on the top. They're up underneath inside of it. That's good coordinated offensive line play, and the timing of the play against the defense was spot on.
Orange trying to get back in the Sarchione red zone for the second time. It's an option play and a pitch to that right side. More of a pass. And not much there for Orange. Yes. Technically, would that be an option?
Yeah, little belly. We call that a belly pitch or the read option. So he puts it in the belly early, then comes down. That was almost a belly pitch on a ride there. But it can look like option, and it could turn into option if he pulls it and doesn't pitch it.
There we go. Clock hits under 2 minutes to play. The Orange Lions were tied at 7 so far, but team from Pepper Pike visiting tonight trying to get back on the board. Another opportunity there for the running back to go to that left side before he's eventually wrapped up and brought down. First time tonight we have seen Jordan Eason get a carry, and another chance for Frey to possibly keep it there, and he elects to go to his running back. Tough 3rd and 5 coming up for Orange.
Yep, you see Orange really trying to get that ball back into the weak side of the defense, setting a formation or having the ball start one way and come back up in inside the other. So we'll see what happens here. Again, watch that offensive line play. See who's pushing the line of scrimmage forward, offense or defense. You'll see who's winning that battle.
It is a give to the running back, and it was the Northwest Indians winning that push. Nowhere for the running back to go. And that one ended up being a give to the receiver, Cole Schriebman. Tough decision here for the Lions, Mike. Do they want to take that lead with under a minute to play or push the agenda as, man, they're maybe an inch off that red zone, so we'll say they are in the Sarchione red zone.
Watch
4th
that hard
down.
count. Watch that long count.
It's a pass to that left side. A quick pass, it's picked off. The receiver tripped, and Northwest got ready for it and intercepted it. Frey decided, I'm throwing no matter what. His receiver tripped, and the Indians will get it back.
Yep, great call there, Bill. It's exactly what happened. The receiver hit his plant foot, on a slant. They were trying to slip it in there at the first down yardage. He slipped. The DB was able to close on that shoulder. Great catch, and really what's nice there, you've got the ball right out of the gate. You don't have to worry about anything else. A call, a missed tackle, it was just taken care of there on that play. Well done.
Badger and company come back out on offense for Northwest. It is a give to Parker Kraft. It's going to take more than one man to take him down. To the right side, Parker Kraft eventually pushed out of bounds up towards the 40. And it's been that kind of day for Parker Kraft, a guy who's gotten some carries here and there, some involvement, kick returning up into this game, seems to be the guy, as John DeMarco knows it's winning time when it's playoffs.
Well, you love Kraft's elusiveness, but you watch his center of gravity is real good. He runs through the arm tackle, and a little bump does not take him off his running lane. Boy, he's putting pressure on the tacklers tonight.
Indians back at it, first down and 10, up at the 38. Badger snaps. Quick look to that left side, complete to Nicky, caught up at the 45-yard line. It's a good chunk play as they'll get 8 yards close to that first down. And we mentioned John DeMarco. If you watched our broadcast last week, we congratulated him at the end of the game. 1,000 career wins. So they're 100 career. I'm sorry, 100. I gave him a lot of credit there.
He'd be special.
100 career wins, and modest and humble to say the least post-game. And Frank, he's done a great job both here at Northwest and Louisville.
He sure has, and I've followed his career for a long time. He was at Lake as an assistant back in the day. So John DeMarco has been a long-time Stark County coach, and he certainly is one of the best.
Frank, you nailed it. Good that you knew about Lake. Then back in '91, that's when the Christopher group was there, and they made it to the state Final Four with Coach Durbin.
Yeah.
So you're right on that. It's some great history there, and everywhere Coach DeMarco has been, he's had positive impact.
And
everywhere.
He was a quarterback, is that right?
Yeah, at Hoover. That's correct.
Wow. So again, congratulations to Coach DeMarco on 100 wins. We'll see if he can get to 1,000 at some point if things can really get cooking for the Indians over the next few years. Tied at 7. That was the end of the first quarter on that play, so we will switch sides of the field as the Indians eager to get back out there offensively. You see them trot out there, Mike. They want to keep cooking what they had going.
You can see these two offenses. It's just fun to watch. You know, Billy, Bob, and Frank. It's one missed tackle away from always a big play.
Who's Billy Bob?
I didn't want you to go there.
I'm like, oh.
There was a comma between those, Frank.
Pass to the left side, drops incomplete. It's a nickname I can't do. So I'm glad you finished out strong there, Mike.
Good thing we're amongst friends here.
Yeah.
Our huddle is comfortable.
The AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. We are live with you from Jim Shalmo Field here at Northwest High School. Excited to bring you round one action here in the playoffs. We've had a great season so far, and I'm glad to bring you playoff action here in Week 11. Looks like a blitz coming for Orange. Badger will give it to Kraft. Kraft hits that left side. He's loose to the 45. Could finally break that big touchdown run. Parker Kraft just short of the end zone, but another dash through the line into the open field for Parker Kraft.
Boy, Billy, watch the replay. Northwest call this a counter tray. They bring a guard and a tackle to clean it up. There was a blitz by Orange, and boy, that speed, you just have to smile about the speed of Parker Kraft.
Avery Goldman, the free safety for Orange, has had to work overtime tonight. Kraft has come so close to breaking the big run for a touchdown. He's had plenty of big runs, but that touchdown run still eluding him so far. But as we said, we have a lot of football left to play. Tied at 7 early. 11-minute mark coming. As Badger high snap, he'll pitch it to Kraft. Looking to get back inside and not much gain there to get. He's probably exhausted, too, after a run like that.
For sure. And you can see the timing of that play got off just a little bit because of the snap. And Orange did a nice job of dissecting that and making sure they got to point of attack. The offensive line, you could tell, they broke down quickly.
Indians set up in the Sarchone red zone. Remember, get your own at Sarchone. A lot of blocking up there for Kraft. They'll give it to Kraft. Pushing the end zone, followed every block he could. And Parker Kraft taking an extra breath as he lays there for the touchdown. Northwest trailed 7-0, and they'll be on a 14 run here if the extra point goes through.
Boy, Billy, both the guard and the tackle from the backside was a great pull. So you had Garber and Cottle. Beautiful job. The front side walled it down. And, boy, when you have a back like that, you just need a little space.
Get him a break. Give him a chance to catch his breath, as it'll be Ben Chance trying to scoot it through to give him a 7-point lead. Snap back, it's a fake. Rolling to the right side. Give them some extra points. Caught by the Indians, and they'll take 2. Northwest getting tricky here in the playoffs. Mike, did that look designed to you?
Absolutely designed. Watch how we call that the edge blocker and the tight end in the formation. They just show a little touch and then both release, and your holder then rolls out. It's almost boot action, and he's going to throw, starts deep, and then to shallow. He makes a read. It's a great call, especially when you got guys coming off that corner to block.
Hey, guys, the best part of that was when the holder came over to the sideline, John DeMarco goes, "What was that?" he was making fun of his pass. It was a little wobbly.
Yeah, it was an interesting delivery. The receiver had to get a little low there, but hey, Northwest, you never know how this one could end. That could make a huge difference. Could have made a difference either way if they hadn't gotten it later in this game. So with 10:46 remaining, Northwest runs a little trickery and makes it 15-7 early. We'll get your start of scoring drive. Mike, ready for that? Go ahead.
Right to it here. Northwest scoring drive. It happened at 10 minutes and 46-second mark of the second quarter. These possessions are short. 1 minute and 48 seconds with that one. 6 plays, 81 yards. These are big-time drives.
Yeah.
Finished up with a 6-yard TD run by Parker Kraft. 2-point conversion is good. We're at 15-7. And Parker Kraft, 9 carries. Get this, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, and we have 10:46 in the second quarter.
Unbelievable. Kraft really running. My next step there was going to go to Bob Jeffries for Parker Kraft stats, so incredible there.
What's the old phrase? He's on pace for that 300-yard game pretty quickly.
Playoffs. Hold nothing back and go for it. 15-7 early Northwest. Back deep. It'll be a return for the Lions. To the 20. Up to the 25. They got a man loose to the 40. Going to need some help from the kicker to drive him out of bounds. And just like that, some quick running from Cole Schriebman puts the Lions into Northwest territory. And we want to take a sec here to thank Tom McDaniels. He was with us all season on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Legendary coach, Hall of Fame coach with us week to week, and we appreciate that. But glad to have Mike Cilona with us tonight, as I said, with AultCare now. But I'll let Frank Cilona hype up our guest a little bit here.
I'd say please don't.
I've always admired Mike and what he's done, not only on the football field, the baseball field, the basketball court, but what he's done in the office and the business world as well. And we certainly appreciate Mike being here and the support we get from AultCare.
Well, humbled and grateful. Thank you for the kind words. And quickly I share back, it's a joy to be with you and be on the WHBC team.
And with that,
hey, Billy?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were on, but I want to give you some updates here on WHBCSports.com. First of all, the Green Bulldogs are up 14-0 in the second quarter. We have Lake on top of Hoover, 13-0 in the second quarter. West Branch also by a 13-0 score over Hubbard. Malvern is leading Lucas 16-6. Massillon on top of Licking Heights, only 7-6 right now in the second quarter in that ball game. Tri-Valley has a 7-6 lead over Carrollton in the second quarter. And a couple more here for you. The Polar Bears of Jackson, 10-0 over Brunswick in the second quarter. And Poland Seminary leads Central Catholic 15-0 in the second quarter.
Thank you, Frank. Congrats to all the Stark County and area teams that made it to the playoffs. Well represented this year. Frey back to pass. Under pressure. Down he goes. Looked like Parker Kraft got to him. Nope, different number there.
Yeah, Billy, what they tried to do is they tried to fake the sweep out to Ty to pull the safety down flat. And when the safety didn't come down, Fry didn't have any place to go because it was truly a spring open route, and it didn't spring open.
Jacob Garber on the hit there. Frey will keep it. Now he'll pitch it to Schriebman. Leaping forward, and there was already a loss of yardage, so he'll try and get back to that original line of scrimmage. We want to thank all our sponsors again. We gave them some love earlier. We did
Third down and 7.
want to make sure we thank them here as we enter the playoffs. They support high school football. They support Stark County by partnering with us. There'll be a snap and give to Ty. He bolts through the middle to the 20. Couple defenders to beat, and he beats them into the end zone. Northwest has worked hard all night to contain Russell Ty, and he finally gets loose.
Boy, watch the blocks at the point of attack on what we would say the camera side. Little flare just up inside with the 2 guards, and when you have the speed of Russell Ty, you just need a little space. Boy, ran through tackling angles there. And just like that, they're back in it.
A little bit of a running back battle right now. Snap back. The extra point is extremely low, but it gets through. And so that'll make it a 15-14 game. Again, Northwest ran a trick play to get 2. We'll take a quick break. We've got some offense happening here on the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
For over 60 years, Friends and Family Credit Union has proudly served Stark County. We provide financial services to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Stark County. Whether it's a loan, savings, checking, or other financial services, now more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family. Come visit any of our 3 locations, online or our mobile app. Our focus is always you, the member.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, 15-14, Northwest holds a 1-point lead over Orange. The Lions just scored. Mike Cilona, that started a scoring drive.
Boy, Billy, it's amazing. We're running out of summary cards almost because the scoring is happening so fast. Orange scored at 9:30 mark of the second quarter. That possession game was only 1 minute 16 seconds. 3 plays, 35 yards because of the great kickoff return. 32-yard run by Ty. Extra point by Saab is good. 15-14, and right now Russell Ty has 66 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Ball back in the hands of Parker Kraft up to the 30-yard line. Thank you to Mike for reading that. Bob Jeffries tallying stats for us tonight. Started a little slow over there, Bob, but I know you're busy now.
Yeah, what was I complaining about?
They're heeding your thoughts from up here, Bob. Get it going down there, and they did.
Yeah, this is Northwest's 5th possession already. 5 also for Orange, so a lot of possessions early in this game.
Plenty of time in the Sarchione red zone for both these teams as well. It'll be a keeper for Badger. Finally gets room to work up to the 40. If we've seen Badger running early, it's usually been because he's in trouble. But he'll take it up to the 40-yard line and a first down.
Boy, Billy, again, the same concept of play. They pulled the guard and the tackle. Take a look. You see 51 nestling up in there, 54, 2 great blocks up inside. Great offensive line play. Boy, guys, you're right on it. Take a look at Cottle and then Harness. Those guys are right on it.
8:35 remaining in the second quarter. The Indians up by 1, round 1 of the playoffs. Kraft busts through that pile. He's loose. Parker Kraft, he'll go solo into the end zone this time. Breaks the big one. He's had so many chances to get to the end zone, and Kraft finally makes it happen with the long run.
Boy, Billy, they're finding trap play. Here it comes again. Boom. Night 17 gets walled off, and then watch the wide receiver block out here on the outside. Just picking up. Beautiful job there by Musleave just to let the speed run through the tackling angle. Those little things become big things. And the trap block and the receiver block sprung that play.
Yeah, I lost him in that pile for a second. I heard the crowd cheering, and Kraft comes out the other side. So Northwest answers at Orange after Orange answers Northwest, who answered Orange. And these two offenses are really booming right now. Extra point is good, so make it 22-14. We'll send it down real quick to Frank Cilona. And Frank, the energy really went 0 to 100 there.
It sure did. Boy, that'll pick you up if you don't get excited about anything. But I just want to know, does Parker Kraft have more yards in this game yet than he did in this season so far?
Well, he's at 252
Pretty
for
close.
the game, and for the season we had him at 203. So
he crushed it.
Holy smokes!
And that's only a half, guys. So he's got a lot more to give here in the second half. So he's just getting warmed up.
Frank and Bob, that's a great commentary about how breakthrough moments happen. And if you just stay game ready, and the old phrase is, manage when it's called your way, get after it, and he's making the most of it.
Kicking off.
22-14 is the score now, 8:21. The big question is, can Orange answer? They've done it multiple times now tonight. And these two offenses that we expected to see maybe arrived a little bit late, but they're here, and they are booming. Kickoff for Northwest. Chance puts it high towards the 20. It'll drop and almost go over the head of Schriebman. He'll collect and go to that right side. Actually, that's Goldman. And Avery Goldman doesn't get much after he gets his hand on the ball. That start of scoring drive, Mike Galena's got it. Not too hard to read that one, huh?
No, and these are going to start to sound eerily similar as we come off of Halloween. Northwest scoring at 8:21 in the second quarter. Time of possession, 1 minute, 9 seconds. Again, 3 plays, 80 total yards. 60 yards of that was the TD run by Kraft. Shance's extra point was good. We sit at 22-14.
Hey, guys. You guys have heard of the intentional walk. Well, that kickoff there was the unintentional onside kick.
Ball's loose. The Lions picking up. It's still getting bobbled. Taking time to make a decision back at about the 2-yard line. Wrapped up and brought down. That thing couldn't stop bouncing as Ellie Robinson finally collects. Disaster for the Lions there averted.
Boy, the snap is so powerful, and you take a look. I'm not sure that Fry had his eyes on it right out of the gate, and it kicked off his hands. And, of course, the play has really exploded at that point. It's just managed disaster. And that's what happened there with Eli Robinson.
Beckham way up. It's second down and 28 for the Lions. Back to pass. Frey throws it. It is complete to his receiver, and he breaks the tackle. That would have created a huge difference. He'll go bolting back towards the line of scrimmage. A nice give and go. That's those one-on-one tackles you talked about, Mike. That one would have made a huge difference.
Boy, for sure. And throwing out of that area of the field, literally in your end zone, is risky. But, boy, if you don't make a tackle, it looks as if it was a gem of a play. And that's what happened. It would have been under control had the one-on-one tackle been made.
Oliver Abramson makes that play. And, Bob, good day for Frey throwing as his stats start to pile up passing-wise.
Yeah, he's over 100 yards, 113.
Add a couple more as he'll pitch it to Schriebman. Diving forward, looks short of that first down.
Big fourth down decision here.
6:47 remaining in the second quarter. We thank you for joining us live on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. 80 years of high school football on WHBC, and we are proud to bring it to you through YouTube, radio, and WHBCSports.com stream. Playoffs have begun. Make sure you stay tuned with us to track all the games on WHBCSports.com. Give, Ty, looking to find that first down. He got it. That was a difficult fourth down situation, but when you have a running back like that, it makes it a little easier.
Boy, you saw conviction right away from the coaching staff at Orange. They were going for it. Of course, you know we're going to put it in the hands of our best, and they come back to that backside. I just love their offensive line on that backside, number 74, Brandon Wong. He, you can tell, is the go-to spot with the go-to runner.
Yeah, we've highlighted him plenty tonight. We do have a man down for the Lions, so we'll step away for just a second. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
Sharing a big family moment. Working hard from home. Relaxing with a friend. Welcome to life. Engaged, where reliable internet has never been more important. MCTV extends your family's reach with consistent speeds and whole home Wi-Fi, making life at home engaged. no matter what's thrown your way. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
Novelis Uricsville is the world leader in aluminum recycling, and they need you. They have immediate openings for general laborers, equipment operators, and various skilled trade positions. They will start you at $22 per hour or higher, and there are advancement opportunities, and Novelis offers industry-leading benefits. To apply or find out more, go to Novelis.com/careers and search Uricsville. That's Novelis.com. Novelis is an equal opportunity employer.
22-14 is the score here between Northwest and Orange. The Indians lead it as Andy Morrissey kind of limped off the field there. We'll see if he's able to come back out. And Frank Cilona, as we get closer to the Old Carolina Barbecue halftime show, you got to do a pretty cool interview.
I did. You know, I had a chance to talk to the Northwest wrestling coach, Art Kali, and he had a couple of wrestlers with him. One guy and actually 4 ladies that are on the wrestling team.
Frey delivering over the middle to Shreedman, and that's a first down for Orange. Yes, one of the benefits of watching our live game of the week or even pre-recorded is what's happening around these programs that we're visiting. We like to do these halftime interviews to kind of fill you in. Last week we were doing the Canton Local School District, their musical. This week the wrestling programs here at Northwest, both male and female. It's Russell Tye breaking loose. He's got another chance to find the end zone. He's comfortable doing it. To the 20, to the 10, and Russell Tye into the end zone for Orange. It is a back-and-forth shootout, folks.
Boy, Billy, he only needs one step. And what you see up front is that left side of the offensive line for Orange popping free, and that one was just to the A-gap side on the right. New center was in the game. It didn't matter. They found a way to just pop it, run it by that linebacker level, and he runs through the tackling angles of the defensive backs.
Extra point for the Lions is good. Earlier, Mike, he needed to break a tackle or two to bust that big one. Not there.
No, as a matter of fact, you can see him being a confident runner now. He's hitting his point of attack really hard, and his offensive line is giving him just enough space so he can get it into the next gear pretty quickly. And you're not tackling him in open space, you can tell.
Unbelievable play right now between these two running backs. Russell Tye and Parker Kraft going at it offensively. And we'll get the stats from Tye in just a second from Bob Jeffries. We'll also get the Sarda scoring drive, as we were saying. Frank Cilona will have that interview at halftime. We'll also add up all the stats from that first half. We will also do scores from around the area. Stark County, like I said, well represented in the playoffs this year. That expands into Malvern and Greene, too, as they have great programs, and we're going to be following them. WHBCSports.com. You can always stay up to date with not only scores, but what games we're broadcasting next.
Boy, and the WHBC team does it beautifully. Just to have Frank on the sideline knocking out some scores real time, that's coverage at the next level. And the commitment that the station makes with the great teammates that we have here tonight, and then those scores from around the county, it's so comprehensive. It's really, really good.
Yeah, appreciate that, Mike. Glad to do it. 80 years. Got to make it happen. And there's a reason this group and this station, which will be 100 years next year, has done it for 80 years. Kickoff from Orange, back deep. Collected at the 10-yard line. Northwest would love to have good field position, and they will get pretty good to the 32-yard line. And Mike Galena, that start a scoring drive.
Boy, again, these scoring drives are coming in rapid fire. Orange scores at the 5:28 mark of the second quarter. The time of possession that time was 2 minutes, 53 seconds, almost double the last one. 6 plays, 76 yards. The final 49 was a run by our great runner, Russell Tye. Extra point by Saab was good. It is Northwest 22, Orange 21. Hey, that 2-point conversion still sits out there as a deal breaker right now.
Yeah.
Russell Tye, 10 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. And last week he had 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's picking right up where he left off.
There was a penalty on the Indians, so they will be backed up to the 18-yard line where they'll start 1st and 10, 5:22 remaining in the half. Badger keeps it, hits that pile after a couple yards and gets forced back. Something to remember, Northwest deferred the opening kickoff, so they will have the ball first to begin the second half. John DeMarco's squad, along with Orange, starting a little slow on offense, but it has been a slugfest between these offenses and these running backs for really the past quarter and a half.
Well, you're so right. What started out slow has turned into a multiplied offensive game between both teams.
Badger gets the carry. He'll take his time. Excuse me, that's Kraft, and he'll eventually pick a hole and go. You know you got a pretty good O-line, Mike, when you have that opportunity to stop, read the room, and go.
Boy, for sure, and that means your offensive line is doing a good job of taking care of whatever the defensive push would be to allow for that. So, again, if you're watching the game and you're saying who's really managing the line of scrimmage, you just watch who's getting the push, who's making that extra yard one direction, forward if you're the offensive line, or defensively if you're stalemating the O-line. So good view from here.
Third down and about 4 for Northwest. We got a flag quickly. That'll stop the play. Northwest seems confident. We'll see what the call is.
Extended the count, and I think they got a neutral zone.
Neutral zone infraction, as Mike said. That'll move things up for the Indians. A fresh set of downs. Hey, remember, mentioned it earlier, Saturday Morning Huddle is back tomorrow morning. WHBC YouTube channel and Facebook channel. It'll be the high school football playoff edition of the show. Gotta love it. Myself and Kenny Rhoda ready to bring you score, stats, and more. Another big run coming for Parker Kraft. He hits the 50. They'll finally catch up to him at the 40-yard line. And that offense came shooting out after the penalty. And Parker Kraft came shooting out of the backfield. Another huge gain.
Did a nice job after the penalty. They went quick. So they loaded right up after the ball was set, and they came with that, we call that counter tray, where you bring a guard and a tackle from the backside, and they just popped it open. We've seen that play several times, and it's yielding similar results. Here they're going quick again.
Here comes Northwest. Under 4 minutes to play in the half. Badger, keeper, hits the pile, looking to get out of the pile. Good job by Orange keeping him contained. Russell Ty also working on defense right now, too.
And how about that? He's the inside. We'll call him the that Mike backer. He's dead center, and he's certainly at the tailback. So you smile about him being in all the impact plays. He's in on every impact play on both sides of the ball.
Ticking down to 3 minutes. Badger, plenty of receiving options, but it'll be a give to Kraft. And he's loose. Nobody in front of him. Here goes Parker Kraft. 3rd time's a charm. 3 times a hat trick. He goes into the end zone. 4. Give him 4 on the day. Parker Kraft has been absolutely terrific tonight. Didn't have to break any tackles there. Just came shooting through, and Northwest is in the end zone again.
Boy, Billy, what I love, and our replays do such a great job. So, great group with cameras and truck work. You're seeing quickly at the point of attack, it springs open just great, but Kraft accelerates north-south. They're not waiting. They're saying, there's my space. I'm getting myself to the goal line. And they're running by those angles that are tackling angles from the other secondary players.
Got a quick stoppage here. Thinking of Bob Jeffries. Caught me there. I said 3, and I immediately thought I know that's wrong. And that'll be 4 on the day. Kraft is racking them up.
3 would be enough.
I know.
Not in this game.
And it's only 3 minutes left before halftime. Kraft is carving out quite the game. Extra point for Northwest is good. So, man, that extra 2-pointer continues to mean a lot more for Northwest as they are up 8 with 3:05 to go in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see if Orange can work with 3 minutes to go in the half. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Live Game of the Week.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
From the heart of the Hall of Fame city to the Carnation City, all the way into the City of Champions. Mixed Mornings have come back home, and we can't wait to have you on our team.
Sounds like Stark County. Mixed Mornings with Matt Bento. Weekdays 6 till 10. Mix 94.1.
Back here on the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, Northwest extends their lead to 29-21, and will kick it off to Orange here. Back towards the 20, and the Lions, again, can't quite handle the ball. That one really, really high. But Mike Cilona, Parker Kraft is in the end zone again, which means you get to recap our starter scoring drive highlighted by Parker Kraft.
Yep, here come those Northwest Indians yet again. Score occurred at 3:05 in the second quarter. That drive was 6 plays and took 2 minutes and 23 seconds, covered 83 yards. Final 37, touchdown run by Kraft, extra point by Shantz was good. We sit at 29-21, and here's a great stat. Parker Kraft, 14 carries, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, and we have 3:02 left in the second quarter.
Unbelievable. We'll give everyone who's not watching a reason to tune in. 29-21. Frey's in trouble. He'll roll to his right side and eventually rolled out of bounds. And a very physical defensive night for Northwest. They've been chasing around Fry all night long, and he's done a pretty good job, Mike, of taking those hits and when the pressure comes, delivering the ball on those hits.
Absolutely, and he was resourceful there. Fry got out the back saying, hey, my front side play wasn't there. I'm just going to try and make something out of nothing here.
Under 3 minutes to go. It'll be a give to Russell Ty. Not much there for him. And Brady Finn gets there quickly.
We closed that down nice. That's the first time they've narrowed the running lane at the point of attack. So you appreciate the defensive front there of Northwest beating that left side of the offensive line. That's the power side. When they need yards, they're coming our way as you look at it on screen. The two bigs there.
Kraft, that outside linebacker right now for Northwest 2. Fry delivers. It is his receiver dropping to the ground. It'll be ruled a catch for Goldman. He had the huge gain of 79 yards earlier. Clock continues to tick down as the Lions only have 2 timeouts left, so they'll have to manage the clock efficiently with 2 minutes to go. Fry, plenty of options on that right side. He'll go to Russell Ty, though, who's tripped up, wrapped up, and finally brought down in the backfield. That's a huge tackle with Northwest. Every tackle is going to matter with that clock ticking down.
Bill, I'm noticing just something subtle as we head into halftime. Orange's offensive linemen are a little bit tired. They're not as sharp off the ball, and Northwest is beating the blocks, so it's narrowing the running lane. Let's see what happens here.
Fry lobs it high. It is caught by Goldman. Gets towards the sideline and gets hit hard. That may keep the clock running.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Russell Ty is also very tired. You can see him after every play. He gets up. He's very, very slowly, and I think he's starting to wear down a little bit.
To your point, I saw those hands on the hips a little longer.
Yep.
So halftime comes at a good time for them.
Yeah. You know, he's been on every play defensively and a lot on offense, too.
Absolutely, Frank. Good observation, because it's true. It's demanding.
3rd and 8, Fry throwing into the middle, and the coverage is knocked down. Northwest went swarming, and we got a flag down. And it initially looks like contact by the defense is going to cause it.
But to check that replay out, because it looked like going to the football, which is you're allowed to have a fair play to the football, and you can bump the receiver if you're coming through a shoulder to the ball. If you come through the center of the receiver's back, it's going to be a call. All right, 7. There might have been what was viewed by that side official as a push.
Landon cross a little early.
Yep, through the center of the receiver's back.
Fry will snap it. Now he's looking to his left. High ball towards the sideline. Almost intercepted. And it's that Landon Cross getting right back at it on defense.
Great play. In fact, this is great defensive back work. As he was breaking on the ball, you want to break to what we call the top shoulder, or the shoulder toward the goal line, because that's where the ball is being thrown. He did a great job getting on the top shoulder and almost came up with the intercept.
There's a minute 21 remaining in the half. The Lions trail by 8 Northwest. Quite the performance from Parker Kraft so far. We're looking for more. Russell Ty, he's had a performance himself, almost up to the 30-yard line breaking tackles. And both our guys noted how tired he is. Still going to go playmaking late in the half.
How smart he was to get that ball to the official and get it set.
Fry, give, Ty again, finds that pile, and the pile gets to him even quicker. No gain there for Orange. Under a minute to go. Still 2 timeouts in the holster. So we will see what Coach Sonor wants to do. for the Lions, and it looks like one of them is going to be used here.
But, Bill, I'm impressed with both head coaches of how they're managing clock right now. They've done a great job with situational football, using their timeouts wisely, and then most importantly, just managing the game, watching their players when you need that timeout, and in this case, clock management at the minute mark. Very well done by both coaching staffs, and the kids are responding to this.
Parker Kraft and Russell Ty countering each other right now with huge runs. Kraft specifically, though, Mike, he owns property in the end zone right now. He has been so good for Northwest.
Boy, when you think about, I'll just say, a half a season statistics, that's what that would look like. That could be a 5-game set of statistics, and most folks would say they're having a good year.
And again, he didn't have over 200, and I think we had him at 203 in the games he did play. So they were holding him back, using him sparingly off that injury. Well, it's playoffs, and they're not holding back anymore.
You know what they call that in the NBA, load management?
Yeah.
So you smile and say, he got healthy enough that let's just manage him now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the load. Just give him the ball.
He's carrying the load, Mike.
That's it.
29-21, a minute 02 left to play in the half. All that hype for Parker Kraft, well-deserved, but of course we got a close game here, folks. It's 29-21 still as the Lions have answered all night to Northwest.
Yeah, Billy, the scoreboard needs a break.
Yeah, as you predicted, Mike, it is well lit tonight. The energy bill here at the stadium going to be high.
To say make sure all the bulbs are working because you're getting a lot of crooked numbers up there.
Jonah Fry in the shotgun. His all-star running back right next to him. Fry will have to pass for it here, though. Open man. Goldman makes the catch up in front of the 20. That'll be a first down for the Lions. A lot of time to pass, and so Fry makes it happen. He's starting to get really comfortable with Goldman.
And what they're doing, Billy, is they're prying open the backside. So they fake the run, pull the guard, get the backer out, and they throw that slant in the open space.
Hurry up offense. Fry, trying to give some free runs to Russell Ty with that clock ticking down, and it will tick. Under 50 seconds now for Orange, and just one timeout remaining. They will use it. So clock management going to be huge here, Mike.
For sure. You led beautifully to that spot. That was a quick play to see if they could get what we call a burst, something just quick because they aren't set, and you might get a chunk play. Well, now you're going to see them probably pull a guard to get a linebacker to be influenced and then hit a slant seam in behind it because they're out of timeouts now, so they're going to need to be up the field throwing the football. Incomplete pass, good as a timeout because they're in the scoring zone. But watch for a guard pulling to pull a backer out of the way and get a slant in behind it.
A great opportunity here. You can see on our screen, John DeMarco's on the sideline. It shows you how important other coaches on a staff can be. It's not John DeMarco talking to the players right now. His assistants, his coordinators, they're setting things up. That's
a great observation, Billy, because John's culture has been that. I'll hire the right guys. I give them the responsibility, do your job, and it has to work. And so he's on the headset with them if they have a question, but he lets them coach their kids.
We'll see what the coaching does for Northwest as Orange has moved down the field pretty efficiently here. 48 seconds remaining. 29-21, Northwest leads it. What a game it has been.
Second down and 10.
It will continue to be so. Fry, back left corner, almost intercepted. I think the wind took that ball a little bit. And
yep, Eli Robinson says that ball needed to be someplace else. But great job with a little ball fake. Tried to get him in ice. There comes that little guard pull. That gets the backer to flatten. And then here we go up over the top.
I thought he was upset about contact there, Mike, but I think he was not happy with where his quarterback put it.
It seemed that way, like he was seeing it one way, and he actually threw him open on the backside instead of the slant side.
Another chance on third down.
Could be a procedure call.
And we do have a flag.
Left tackle.
Offensive line play has been such a big part of this game as Mike Galena continues to break it down for us. We appreciate Mike joining us, and again, one heck of a player here in Stark County. But Mike, now with our main sponsor in AultCare, and we're proud to have them on board and proud to have you on board here tonight with us.
Well, it's just a joy to give kids credit, give coaches credit, and let folks on the screen see what's going on through a coach's mind and a player's mind.
Terrific stuff, and we got another half of it to come. 42 seconds remaining in the second quarter. We will break down all the stats, a little bit of play and scores from around the area. Then, of course, Frank Cilona's interview with the wrestling program here at Northwest, which features male and female. So we'll get to get some insight there.
All right, Billy, let's see. Take a look where Eli Robinson's number 3. He's the third receiver in from the sideline. So there's something going with combination to free him up or to give him isolation over the middle.
3rd and about 15. Russell Ty, he's broken that.
Tried to spring him.
Big tackle multiple times, but he got taken down by the ankle. That's a huge tackle and a momentum swing for Northwest. Here go the Lions dashing to the line. Now it looks like a field goal, but you've got your quarterback out there, Mike, so we got to keep an eye on it.
Absolutely. Play clock's fine. It's just under 20.
It looks like this will be the final play of the half. 15 seconds ticking down. Orange taking their time. It is 4th down and 11. Looking to see if they can get some final points on the board. Snap back, ball down, blocked! Northwest sends him away with nothing, and there's a flag. It did look like he jumped. We'll see what the call is.
Offsides.
Good eyes down there,
That
Frank
was a
and Billy.
late flag. That was a late
from the
flag.
top side. The top official saw it cleanly. The Northwest edge rusher tried to time it up. And, of course, he timed it up well to block it, but he was in the neutral zone before the snap.
Northwest.
That's not enough for a first down, though, guys.
Good catch there, Frank. And with the time there, just line it up and kick it again.
That's what the Lions will do. Northwest actually has a good history this season of blocking kicks. If I recall, Coach DeMarco said they've done it 3 times on extra points. Almost got another one. It's a high floater. Good. So the Lions get a gift on the offside, and they will get a couple extra points just before halftime. It is the end of the first half. 29-24, Northwest leads it. Folks, if you just tuned in, if you've been with us the whole time, we'll give you a chance to breathe a little bit, but we got a great halftime show coming up. We're going to run down all the stats from that first half. We'll get that start a scoring drive for you. We will also go through scores from around the area and Frank Cilona's interview with the wrestling program here at Northwest. That's what you get when you tune in to the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com.
A strong community brings people together and lifts them through all of life's challenges. At Friends and Family Credit Union, we believe a dependable financial resource is crucial for a strong community. That's why, in addition to our financial services, we support our neighbors whenever we can. Giving back to our community, we strive to be a part of the growth and success of our institutions, organizations, and neighbors. Because when they succeed, we succeed.
Saturday Morning Huddle with Kenny Rhoda, Billy Beebe, and the WHBC sports team.
Coach, we discussed this earlier. When you heard the name Chase Badger, did you kind of think you had a player there, a baller there? Because I think a lot of people hear that name and they think that's a sweet name. That's got to be a good player.
Well, I've been around long enough that I don't put much stock into that. I think I first watched him play as an 8th grader and thought he had some really good skills, and he's been with us for 4 years now and just works really hard and has some really good skills, and we're just trying to hone him in a little bit on those.
WHBC Sports, it's more than just the game.
What's Dad doing up there? Trying to smoke his own bacon.
Sugardale has been slow smoking and perfectly seasoning bacon for more than 100 years. So you're sure to get that same craveable taste every single time. Sugardale, leave the hard work to us.
Sharing a big family moment. Working hard from home. Relaxing with a friend. Welcome to life. Engaged. Where reliable internet has never been more important. MCTV extends your family's reach with consistent speeds and whole home Wi-Fi. Making life at home engaged, no matter what's thrown your way. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
And JT.
Jeff in Plain Township.
Appreciate you every evening. I got a 45-minute commute from Akron to Canton, and you know how 77 and 224 are at in the last 3 years.
Ever going to finish that?
I think in 2026 is when it's supposed to be.
What's up, Kev?
Columbus doesn't get a professional team, because if Columbus got a professional team, then the Browns would want one also.
It's the Kenny and JT Show, weekdays between 3 and 7 on WHBC.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. 29-24, Northwest leads Orange right now. We have had an action-packed first half. We're going to run you through all the stats. Let's start here, Mike Lena. We didn't get to read the start of scoring drive from Orange's field goal to end that first half.
Yep, let's start there. Obviously, as time expired, the Orange Lions hit that field goal to end the half. That was as a result of a 13-play 3-minute and 5-second possession. Total yards 64, and that 32-yard field goal was good by Adam Saab, and it brings us to the 29-24 scoring spot that we have at halftime.
Very good, and team stats, I mean, it was very busy for both of these teams.
You have to smile about the team stats because we were teasing about the game starting slowly, and then, oh my gosh, did it take off. And it took off to the point of this summary that you're going to hear. So we got to score 29-24. So let's run down Orange's statistics right now. Rushing yards, 138. Passing yards, 151 for 289 total yards in the first half. 12 first downs. Time of possession, 13:57, so just under 14 minutes. 1 turnover and 3 penalties for a total of 15 yards. Pretty clean. Now we'll flip over to the Northwest Indians side of the ledger. Rushing yards, get this, 346 in the first half. 19 passing yards for total yards of 365. 12 first downs as well, so those are even on both sides of the ledger. Time of possession, 10 minutes and 3 seconds. Key fact here, no turnovers for the Indians, and they have 4 penalties for 45 yards. So you take a look at that total yardage, 365 for the Indians, 289 for the Lions, and the score reflects that type of closeness, 29-24.
Bob Jeffries, besides Parker Kraft, give me a stat that stuck out to you. I think Parker Kraft would be too easy.
Well, it's just going into the game, you knew Chase Badger could throw, and you knew Northwest relied on the air game a lot. But Coach DeMarco has to be overjoyed to see Parker Kraft put up these kind of numbers, because you want to be more than one-dimensional coming into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And to have your running back that's been out a good chunk of the season come in and give you 325 yards and a half. I mean, I want this guy on my fantasy football team. I mean,
well, I love where you went there. Yeah, those points are racking up.
Smokes. I mean, he's got to be overjoyed, but still, they got a whole half of football left, and this is a very good Orange team. So, yeah, this has been a great game so far.
And we'll credit that offensive line, to your point, Bob. When you get somebody free for 325, folks are doing a nice job at the point of attack and getting themselves up in a running lane. So awesome.
Mike, anything else you're noticing? Before we get to scores from around the area, I want to get some insight from you. We've highlighted Northwest a lot. Parker Kraft, a great game. And as Bob said, Coach DeMarco's got to be happy with the overall effort. But Orange scored early. They've hung in there. They've stayed in it. What have you noticed from the Lions?
We'll take a look at the Orange Lions. they are really staying within their identity, and that is we've got a great running back in Russell Tye. So we're going to do some things with other playmakers, such as Robinson, and yet our real core is freeing this guy up. So we're going to get him the ball all that we can, and they're just being enough complimentary to keep Northwest defense somewhat set as opposed to overcommitted. So I like what Orange is doing. They just need to make sure that they get the number of reps in that they think they need for touches by Russell Tye and then getting the ball out to Eli Robinson.
Yeah, it has been quite the half for Northwest, but like we just talked about, Orange has answered. They have leaned on their running back and Tye, and then, of course, as Mike just said, they've gotten good play out of their quarterback. He's been able to deliver the ball in tough circumstances. O-line's done a good job, but he's also taken some hits, Mike. That's key for a quarterback.
Boy, you observed that really well, Billy, because a couple of times, just as he was letting it go, and the ball was on point, on target, he was taking a thumping. So there's that trusted leader as a receiver. You're saying, he'll get me the ball. Let me do my job so that he can hang in there and do his job. And really, that's when you take a look at it, they've got 151 passing yards, which means they're freeing up some guys in that rhythm that they like.
Yeah, something to watch for in the second half. We appreciate Mike Cilona being with us tonight. A lot of great breakdowns there. Bob Jeffries, we bow to you. Great stuff on stats there. I know a lot of people appreciate it, as do we at halftime, to be able to break those down. Scores from around the area. Stark County is well represented this year, folks, in the playoffs. It's an expanded format, but I will say most of the teams that got in are quality programs and quality teams that have a good chance to make some noise. Over on WHBCSports.com, McKinley right now holds the lead over Normandy 35-7. And the other side of things, we're watching Jackson leads Brunswick 17-3. If you want to know, folks, McKinley and Jackson would move on to play each other, so that would be exciting for next week. Another matchup we're watching within Stark County, Lake leads Hoover 14-0. I highlighted their last matchup earlier, Mike. Hoover won, but Hoover never scored an offensive touchdown. Special teams and field goals won it for them at the buzzer.
Exactly.
So 14-0. Lake, who we know what Coach DeGeorge can do once his team is in the big dance. West Branch, they have had a tremendous year. They will continue it. 24-0 as they are beating Hubbard at halftime. Massillon pulling away from Licking Heights, 21-6 at half. Tri-Valley, they lead Carrollton 28-6. Malvern leads Lucas 22-14. A little close for a Malvern team with a good record. Perry is one of the teams I'm talking about, folks. Finishing the year not quite how they wanted, but they are up 21-0 over Northland. A bold prediction, I think Perry's going to play Massillon at some point in the playoffs, which will be fun to say the least. Northwest leads Orange 29-24 here. Jackson up 17-3, as I noted. Poland Seminary up 22-0 over Central Catholic. Trust Coach Trucker Lindesmith. He'll get his squad going back in it in the second half. Canton South trails New Lexington 28-7. It is Fairless. Right now they are down to South Range 49-6. Green leads Riverside 28-7. And again, if you missed it, McKinley up 35-7 over Normandy. It's always fun to watch two Stark County teams play, Mike, but it's tough because one's got to go right in the playoffs.
Boy, absolutely, and you do a great job on that rundown. So folks that are paying attention to our game, they do not have to feel less than connected to the rest of those games. So thanks for doing that. But you're right. We root for all of our local teams, and yet you know there's going to be a moment, and McKinley-Jackson's that real quick moment. It looks like it's going to happen next week. That would be over at Jackson.
Yes,
I
it
understand,
would.
based on the seed. And I think I heard Kenny earlier today say that might be for the real Federal League Championship because it's that tiebreaker. But we'll smile about all that chatter. They've got to win and finish out. But that's what makes Stark County football so great. Yeah. You guys cover it beautifully. You keep the energy in it, the interest in it, but more importantly, the kids that get the flavor and all of the action around it know that you care about them. Absolutely. So it's great stuff all the way around. You're right. We want to keep our Stark County teams in as long as we can.
Thank you, Mike. Great, kind words there. And again, with WHBC Sports, we do try to keep you updated. Live game of the week, tons of teams left. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, Frank Cilona's got a great interview to highlight a local program going on here at Northwest. You're watching the AultCare Live YouTube game of the week. It's round one of the playoffs. We'll continue here in just a second. CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com.
Sharing a big family moment, working hard from home, relaxing with a friend. Welcome to life, engaged, where reliable internet has never been more important. MCTV extends your family's reach with consistent speeds and whole home Wi-Fi, making life at home engaged, no matter what's thrown your way. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
And welcome back here to our Old Carolina Barbecue halftime report. Frank Cilona with you, and joined now by the Northwest Indians wrestling team. And with us, we'll start with the head coach, Art Kalai. And, Coach, first of all, I'm so excited to hear about this because, as I was telling you earlier, I did not have women in my wrestling program when I was in school, and I understand it's something new, I guess. Not new nationwide, but I think newer here in Ohio. Is that right?
It is. It's relatively new to Northeast Ohio. Women's high school wrestling was sanctioned 2 years ago. It's been sanctioned throughout the country for quite a while, probably 10 or 15 years, but it's just brought to Ohio 2 years ago. Our friends at Rudis Wrestling down in Columbus is a big sponsor and supporter of wrestling. This is our third year that we've had it at Northwest. I came from Oregon, where women's wrestling is it's big out there. And this is our third, like I said, going to be our third year in the program. And I have some of my original girls that have been with the program since we started it 2 years ago.
Before we get to them, I do want to ask you, I know you're a Northwest grad, right? 1984, is that right?
1984, that is correct.
And you wrestled here as well, and then did you you left, from what I understand, I did a little bit of background check. You were in the military.
Correct.
And then settled out in Oregon for a while, is that right?
That is correct. I graduated in 1984, joined the Navy, met my wife out in the Navy. We moved to Oregon, raised my family out there. Heard that Northwest Wrestling needed a little bit of help, let's just put it that way. And so I came home to help get the program back on its feet.
And you come from a long line of wrestlers, too, in coaching, is that right?
That is true. My father was the first Kalai to wrestle back for Barberton in 1960. And there's been a Kalai wrestling and coaching ever since.
All right, awesome. Well, tell you what, before we continue on, I do want to meet the wrestlers here to my left, the lady wrestlers, and if you would, maybe, I'll tell you what, instead of you introducing them, I'll have each one of them just say their name real quick and what year.
Brianna Waits, and I am a senior.
Sophia McKinney, and I'm a senior.
Alexis Lewis, and I'm a senior.
I'm Kyler Canute, and I'm a sophomore.
Okay. All right, ladies, I got to ask you, the first question, what got you into wrestling? I mean, it's not been a very popular sport over the years, but obviously was it a dad, a brother, a cousin, someone that maybe got you interested in it? We'll start with you.
Coach Art, actually.
Coach Art did, okay.
Yeah. He came to school, and he was advertising women's wrestling all over the announcements, all over everywhere, asking girls, recruiting girls, and that's really what got me into women's wrestling.
Awesome. How about you?
It's kind of the same thing. Coach Art recruited me and my other friend Ariana, who also wrestles, and we joined, and it's definitely been a very positive outlet, and I think it's something lots of girls should do.
Okay, so Coach Art had a big influence on a couple of you, and so what, I guess, let's start with you. What is your favorite part about the wrestling program?
The way it kind of empowers you, it lets you, it's a great outlet, like she said, and it lets you know that, yeah, you can beat someone up, and also that you can do more than you think you can.
Yeah. And you?
I just feel like it's a good way to make bonds, and yeah, you get to beat some people up, and it's just a good way to let out your anger.
Coach, they like to beat people up. That's a good sign, right?
That is a good sign.
All right. And then who do you got over here?
This is Jackson
Silman, and I'm a junior.
Jackson, and you've been wrestling since when?
8th grade year.
8th grade year. And what weight class? I don't want to ask the ladies this. I don't know if that's proper, Coach. Okay. But weight class?
215.
215, okay. What is your favorite part about the wrestling program?
Probably the stuff we do after tournaments, like all the team bonding. Like 1 year we went to Cane's, 1 year we went to Walmart and just looked around and had fun with the boys on the team.
Coach, how many boys and girls do you have out for the team?
Right now we have about 15 boys and 11 girls, and we had another one sign up today.
Wow. And teams?
Probably 7 or 8 of the 18 teams have a girls program in Stark County. Alliance has an excellent, and so does Perry, have excellent girls programs.
Okay. And I guess, does it start at the high school level, or does it start in junior high?
It's just like every other program in Northeast Ohio, actually Ohio in general. It starts at the youth program, and we have quite a few young ladies in our youth program here at Northwest.
Toughest match you've ever had in your career, do you remember it?
Yeah, it was probably the Manchester and Norton duels. I had to wrestle a kid named Aiden Mead, and that was a tough match. I won 3-2, just by stalling my butt off.
Have you been down to the state tournament? Have you been down to watch is there a girls' state as well now?
There is. They've had it for 2 years. Maddie Beggart, we've had a representative down there last 2 years. She placed 5th and 7th.
Awesome. So who's going to go to state this year out of the 4 of you?
Hopefully all of us. All of you? Hopefully we all go.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't ask you your weight classes, but I'm assuming you're all different. Is that true? Okay. So you're not competing against each other. So, Coach, one of the things I heard in wrestling is that the kids kind of determine who wrestles. Is that right?
That is exactly correct. We have wrestle-offs, and if you want that varsity spot, you have to beat the person in front of you. One of the things I love about wrestling is you are totally responsible for your own success.
Awesome. Sounds great, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I learned a lot tonight from this, and I want to wish you tonight good luck on the football field and in the wrestling mat as well. And ladies, good luck to all of you. And I think we're going to try to come out and catch a wrestling match for sure. All right. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the second half kickoff right after this.
The news of the day, every day, on Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
Paving every alley in the city of Canton over the first 4 years is just part of the plan. Right now, we have contractors who are cleaning these alleys up that haven't been addressed for decades and decades. And literally, there were people coming out of their houses and hugging the guys working for the contractor cleaning these alleys up.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
It is a great thing.
It is a good thing.
1480 WHBC.
What's Dad doing up there? Trying to smoke his own bacon.
Sugardale has been slow smoking and perfectly seasoning bacon for more than 100 years. So you're sure to get that same craveable taste every single time. Sugardale, leave the hard work to us.
Back here on the Old Carolina Barbecue Halftime Show. Thank you for joining us on the AultCare YouTube Live Game of the Week, Round 1 of the playoffs. Northwest and Orange have not disappointed offensively tonight, folks. If you're just tuning in, welcome, strap in. If you've been watching, hopefully you've gotten a chance to breathe. We've watched score after score after score. And again, I'll kick it to Bob Jeffries first before we get you into this second half. And again, a great job to Frank Cilona on that interview highlighting the Northwest wrestling program, male and female. Bob, our 2 running backs tonight, what a stat line. We'll start with Parker Kraft of Northwest.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, 14 carries, 325 yards. Going in, you had to think Orange, their game plan was really to stop Chase Badger because he's been their star all year. And now to have Parker Kraft come out and do this in a half, I mean, Now, what's Orange going to do? I mean, are you going to, go up and try to stop the run? Is that going to open it up now for Badger to throw the ball? I mean, if you're the Orange defensive coordinator, you're pulling your hair out right now. I mean, what are you going to stop? So, yeah, I mean, incredible half by Kraft. I mean, he's definitely back from that injury.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you're back, right? But, I mean, a broken ankle, it's healing. It's healing for a long time, and you're still playing football. On the other side of things, pretty impressive for Orange's star running back, Bob, because you expected him to be a part of the game plan, and yet Northwest, who's done a good job, he's still gotten his numbers and made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, 16 carries, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns. Orange going with more balanced attack, passing and rushing the ball. In most halves, you're going in with 24 points. You're going, hey, man, we got a nice game. But, boy, I mean, Northwest coming out with 29 of their own. Orange has their hands full trying to stop the Northwest offense. But Orange really, I mean, they did a great job offensively in that first half.
Yeah, we will see what Russell Ty and Parker Kraft have left in the tank. 30 seconds before we get this kickoff going for the second half. Mike Cilona, these running backs playing really well. The stats will show it, but, hey, they need teammates to do it, right?
Oh, for sure. Bob did a beautiful job summarizing the personality and identity of the two running backs. But let's go right up front to those defensive front and offensive front. What Northwest found they were able to do was pull and trap.
Right.
And get some running lanes opened up.
Key
there. And then the balance for Orange, Bob was right on it. Enough throwing that keeps the linebacker level of Northwest just off the line of scrimmage enough to get Russell Ty free. So it's a chess game right now. What are you going to commit to inside that box?
Great to have Mike Cilona with us tonight. With AultCare currently, but, man, years making a difference in Stark County as a coach, as a player, baseball, football, basketball, a principal too, correct? Superintendent, right?
That's correct, yes. I'm just an old guy,
That's a 2-page,
Billy.
3-page resume, man. That's crazy.
A lot of great people. I was on a lot of great teams, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and a part of our team tonight, we're glad to have him. Kickoff as Northwest won the toss and deferred, so they will get it to start the second half. Kraft's in trouble. He'll get back to that left side before he's wrapped up and brought down.
Take a peek at who made that tackle, and it'll make you smile.
Stop made by number 5, Russell.
And Russell Ty on special teams now, running back, linebacker, and on special teams. Hey, real quick, election night coverage. Encourage everybody to get out there and vote. But on Election Day, we have you covered. Local radio, this is one of the benefits, folks. It'll be myself, Pam Cook. Election Day is Tuesday, finally. And 1480 WHBC will, of course, have complete coverage for you. So tune in with us at 7 p.m. We'll get you updated on everything happening. We'll have guests, special guests. We'll have John Decker, who's live with candidates, figuring out what's going on, getting numbers, reactions, and things like that. So as the election season ends, WHBC brings you the coverage.
Bill, in that last play, it was interesting to watch. Orange decided to get in the pocket of the trapper.
Badger, on the second play of the drive, is under duress, taking his time, though. O-line's working for him. He's just got to find something. Steps up, lobs it, incomplete, into the sideline. Chase Badger, you'd think he'd find something eventually, Mike, but makes the decision that we're going to move on to the next.
Yeah, for sure. When he got flushed, it was unfortunate because all of his route runners were here to what we call the camera side or the play side, and he flushed back out to the backside. No one went with the quarterback. Receivers are supposed to run parallel and flat with the quarterback when he's flushed. None of his teammates were able to be in sight.
Badger again to pass. It's third down now. Gets it, completes it. Nice delivery to Joe Musleave. We'll see where they want to mark it, though. It looked short of the first.
Yep, going to need a couple more yards to get that first.
And it'll be a fourth down and about 3 yards. Not many times have we seen Northwest. Their punter has had the night off, just one punt tonight.
No, this is their first punt.
First punt? Okay. Jason Garber will punt it for Northwest. First time today. Yes, they were stopped on fourth down and missed a field goal to begin the game, and then I think they scored every drive after that, Bob?
Yep.
Those are called mental stats I gave right there as that kick goes off to the right and out of bounds. We'll bring in Frank Cilona, Friends and Family Credit Union sideline check-in. And, Frank, this crowd's got to be riled up for this second half, not only between stats, but we got a good game here.
Yeah, it really is, guys. And I just found out that 355 is the record, or 365 is the record for Northwest. 462 is the Stark County record for total yards from a running back in a ball game.
Good to know. Yeah, one more time, Frank. Give us those numbers so we can keep getting them out there.
355 is the school record by Brian Hall. And that was back in 2016, guys.
Very good. Russell Ty will carry for Orange. Bolts that sideline and gets the first down. And Russell Ty not tired from special teams, defense, or the numbers he has. And as we read them to you at halftime, Bob, Russell Ty had a good first half.
Yeah, he was up to the 45. He's up over 150 now.
But when he turns the corner, guys, his speed outruns all tackling angles. So a little space is a big deal for him.
And it is a give again to Ty up the middle. Starting to become a bell cow back now. Wrapped up and brought down after about 4 yards.
Jonah Fry's doing a nice job now, Billy, is reading the perimeter defense, whether it's the defensive end or if he's looped in a linebacker. And if somebody's sitting out there, he's letting Ty have the ball. And if they're crashing down, watch for him to keep it. Here he comes.
Pitch to that outside, slide back in for Schriebman. Short of the first down. Orange has gotten very creative tonight with who gets the ball when and how.
Yep, you notice they try to create a little leverage in space. They show a little belly action or something to ride. That holds your backer. Then that means that's one less guy to block. And then they get it out on the perimeter. You got your receiver blockers and then an extra back out there. Could be going to the top side same way.
3rd down and 3. Fry, he'll give it to Russell Ty. Kind of shifts back to the outside, and he'll get the first down as continues to pump those legs. However, Orange can get points, they'll take them. The Lions trail by 5 right now. That's due to an extra point that Northwest got. And it's funny, Mike, because right now the difference between 4 and 5 wouldn't quite matter, but Northwest went for it anyway. Almost felt like a momentum swing a little bit early.
Yep, and sometimes that lets a field goal come into play at the end of the game to be a game winner.
Never know. 9:06 to play in the 3rd. Fry dropping back, trying to make something special happen over the heads of his defenders. Good tracking by Northwest as just one receiver deep for the Lions.
Yep, that's all great scheme by Orange. They use the belly fake. They've had a couple of nice runs. So the idea there is just to pry open a backside seam, and he just overthrew it. But by design, they were setting that play up.
8:59 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Northwest leads by 5. Pitch to Ty. Gets that outside. Again, looking for the sideline, and eventually pushed out of bounds after a nice gain. And the difference is Kraft has broken those huge runs, and Ty has just stayed steady with nice gains to keep the offense moving.
Yep, critical block there by Eli Robinson to create leverage so that Ty could get around that corner. So you take a look at Robinson. He's got 44 catches, 10 touchdowns. Can he block? Well, absolutely he's blocking on that particular pitch play that you see.
A big help. Snap, give, Ty up the middle. Northwest catching up to him, and they bring in the backfield. He goes down. Orange had plenty of options where they wanted to put it. Quarterback keeper. You had Schriebman running loose on the left. They go to Ty, and Northwest catches up.
Yeah, the defensive front of the Indians defeated that play right at the snap. All the scheme was broken down, so it was going to be a matter of can Ty get out. Big play here, Billy. 4th.
Yep, 4th down and 5. The Lions. It is Fry. Back to pass. Light pressure. Delivers it. It's Goldman making the catch and giving the Lions new life on offense up to the 12-yard line.
Billy, beautiful play. We call that a double slant. So the belly fake keeps the backer out. Watch, number 3, Robinson sucks the safety. It's only the corner left to converge on that slant route. Leverage, he beats him right away. Great scheme, great delivery.
Jonah Fry with a ton of clutch passes tonight. He will extend this drive as they enter the Sarchione red zone. Give to Schriebman. Not much there for him. Billy Beebe, Mike Galena, Frank Cilona down on the sideline, and Bob Jeffries pumping out stats. A lot of them to get out there tonight with these two offenses really moving. as Northwest leads Orange in the third quarter, 29-24. It's the playoff, folks. That means it's win or go home. The winner of this game will play the winner of Streetsboro and Cardinal Mooney. And don't have a score yet, but Streetsboro heavily favored there. Fry gives it Streetman again. He hits the pile, not much more to give there. So again, a big third down coming for the Lions. Mike, they've really dedicated to this drive. I imagine it's 4-down territory for them.
I think so, and the idea there is when we get in the scoring zone this tight, we need to come away with more in the field goal. Let's commit to it. Now, they may say to themselves, no, we'll take it at 29-27 too. So they're having that conversation right now. What puts us in a good point position?
3rd down and 3.
Fry will roll to his right, delivers wide and short of the first down. We'll see if it's a catch. And it looks like it's incomplete. So a 4th down and 4 coming up for the Lions. And as Mike Cilona said, any points are good points in a game like this, so the Lions want to take 3.
They'll play those points now so that later in the game it doesn't become an issue, like why did you leave points there? There's usually a script that you read up by or down by so many, and it tells you what you do. And they script it out and just read the sheet.
Extra point attempt up. And so the Lions open the second half with a long drive, and they come away with points. We are now at 29-27, 6:18 left in the third quarter. We're going to step away, take a quick break. You're watching a close playoff game here on the AultCare Live YouTube Game of the Week. Back on the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Orange back on the board to begin the second half. It is 29-27. Northwest leads it. The Indians have not had the ball yet, so they are excited. Excuse me, they had the ball first to begin the half and got nothing out of it. So they are excited to get back out there on offense. And, Mike, that was the first time they hadn't scored in a while. So the Indian offense got to be eager to get the ball back.
Well, for sure, and you think about halftime, always resets the energy. So you see who can find the peak of it again.
And to do so, Logan Allman goes flying before he's tripped up low. And again, Parker Kraft with a gigantic first half, and he looks to extend on it. But, Mike, that started a scoring drive for the Lions.
Gotta love right out of the gate. No, that's a 9th scoring drive of this total game, which is amazing. And Orange at the 6:18 mark of the third quarter, after a 12-play, 4-minute and 14 time of possession, come away with a 25-yard field goal by Adam Saab that completed a 53-yard drive. 29-27, here comes Northwest. As we just finished that summary, we might have another one to write up.
Kraft bolting down that right side, and Parker Kraft, as he's not been busy enough today, he adds to his totals all the way up to the 25-yard line. We'll see exactly where they want to mark him. And again, that replay here, untouched, Mike, until he hits that sideline, and such a shifty back, sliding and in and out.
Boy, what this does, Billy, is it energizes your offensive line's legs. When they see a big, long run like that, it's fuel for them to get back in there and grind it out and really pull it out yet again.
Snap, Badger fakes the pass. Now it's a give to Kraft. There he goes. Why not another? Parker Kraft with his 5th touchdown of the night. This is unbelievable, folks. Make no mistake, you're watching history. You're watching Northwest history and Stark County history. What a performance by Parker Kraft.
Boy, you got to love Subtilian and, Cottle and Stevenson all up front in there. And then you take a look at Kraft, and he gets to that point of attack. The boys are feeling it. Just saying, give me space. I got it from there, guys. And, oh, my gosh, you would not know he was coming off of an injury.
And there is some shock right now in this crowd from what they're seeing from the Indians as they extend their lead. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your starter scoring drive, another quick one. We'll also check in with Frank Cilona, all the scores going on locally. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Live Game of the Week.
This is Brian Bailey of Old Carolina Barbecue Company. It's pigskin time in Northeast Ohio, and you know that Old Carolina is the official barbecue of football. So if you've got plans to gather at a tailgate or in front of a big screen TV, be sure your buffet line is full of hearty party food. We've got tender hand-pulled pork to make all-pro sliders and hickory-smoked deep-fried wings that will score big points with your party guests. We're covering football fans at our 3 convenient locations in Canton, Massillon, and Alliance. Order online today at oldcarolina.com.
CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com. Back here on the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, Parker Kraft scoring for the 5th time today, and folks, he now holds the Northwest single-game rushing record, 355 yards on the day. Excuse me, that's the record. What does he have, Bob?
390.
390 to break the school record of 355. So congratulations to Parker Kraft. And yet, I'll say again, Mike, we have so much football left to play in this one. Northwest only leading 36-27. That started a scoring drive.
Boy, here comes the 10th scoring drive of the night. Northwest at the 5:55 mark of the third quarter. 2 plays, 23 seconds. It covered 67 yards. And Parker Kraft with a 25-yard run. Extra point by Shantz is good. And Northwest 36, Orange 27. Parker Kraft, get this, 17 carries, 390 yards, 5 touchdowns. You mentioned about the record, and it's only going to continue to be added on.
Deuce Johnson holds the single-game rushing record in Stark County from Alliance, 462 yards. We'll keep an eye on that, as Orange has work to do on offense of their own. A give to that right side. Let's check in with Frank Cilona. Frank, Stark County well represented in the playoffs right now. Can we get some score checks from around the area?
Yes, sir. We've got some good news and some bad news. First, the good news. Lake is up 28-0 over Hoover. I guess that's good and bad. You got Jackson 24-3 over Brunswick. The bad news, you got Poland Seminary 39-6 over Central. We'll have more for you here in a minute.
And another carry for Russell Ty as he continues to rack up his own stats. Lions, they're not phased right now, but what is going on with Northwest? They are in this game, and they are working to continue to stay in it here, Mike, with these runs.
Boy, great gap integrity by Northwest interior line, the front 3. They're fitting their gap and holding tight, and it's just making it harder for Ty to find a running spot. And there comes the cleanup tackling. That will win the football game for Northwest. They can keep good gap integrity right up front and then fit the tackling so that Ty can't bounce or break tackles. The last 2 plays have been picture-perfect defense by the Indians.
4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. While Northwest scored quickly there, Orange on their field goal drive really milked the clock.
Half the quarter. You're right,
they're going for it here. 4th down and 1. Ty wrapped up and brought down in the backfield. The Indians want the ball back, and that stop will do it. Northwest may have just swung this game in what seemed very difficult to do. We'll see.
They may want to measure. Nope. The officials are saying we're good.
Back to
Big
Northwest. Unbelievable. The Northwest defense wants to step up too, and you were just talking about, Mike, that tackling, that quick, close, eager tackling gets it done for Northwest.
Yeah, I was real impressed in that last couple series is how really, really nicely played that defensive front has been. And how about them rising to the occasion there to say, we'll win that line of scrimmage and actually push it back a half a yard.
Guys, Russell Ty was hurt on that play. He came off the field very slowly under his own power, but he got hammered on that run, and he's feeling it.
The Indians confirm with that chain measurement they're going to get the ball back. Something to watch there. Thanks for that update there, Frank. A key player for Orange. Late in the game, they're starting to fall behind a little bit. They're going to need a player like Ty. Back to Northwest offensively, though, Mike. We'll see what they want to do. Parker Kraft has ran a lot today. 17 carries, nearing 400 yards. Already has broke the school record. We'll keep you updated on that Stark County record of 462. It's Kraft again. This time he's taken down quickly. And that Orange defensive line took a little bit of a break from the playmaking. They struggled a little bit after Kraft got going, but it looks like they're back at it.
Yep, Kraft came in with that, pulled the guard and the tackle again. He danced a little too long in the hole. So then it allowed Orange's defensive front to compress the running lane. So you saw him not get free because of that. Watch your guards. Just watch your guards now. Here they come at us.
3:45 left in the third. It's Chase Badger keeping it up. Up that middle. And finally the defense collects and gets to Badger quickly, but a needed break for Parker Kraft, and you almost forget you got a Stark County Player of the Year candidate in Badger.
The best part about that was it looked the same play, so they covered up to make it look the same, but then you let Badger hit the running lane just a little differently, and that really kept Orange out of position.
3:25 remaining in the third. It is Kraft. Might have took the wrong route there. He ducked back inside. He had that whole right area of the field open, but at that point you got so many linemen coming after you.
Yep, Big Austin Thomas did a nice job of shedding his blocker, and we say keep an arm free, so he kept his outside arm free and was able to get to Kraft right away.
And just a reminder, for John DeMarco, you need points on the board. You're earning a win. That's what you want here. You're not worried about any record or anything else. So Northwest will do what they have to do to win this game. Badger's going to keep it. Things are getting physical for him as he's wrapped up and taken down with not much gain. A 3rd and 10 coming up for Northwest.
Billy, not all bad in this scenario is that the clock is running.
Right.
You're keeping the ball on the ground.
Yep.
Certainly if you can pop one, great. But you're in the red zone, and you can let the clock work, so you're actually winning on 2 different phases of the game right now. Points will be a bonus here, certainly. But the other 2 pieces, I would say field position and clock, are in your favor.
Big 3rd down and 10, 2:15 to play in the third. That clock ticking down, as Mike said. Back to pass. Badger, pressure's on, gets out of it. He's running and taken down from behind with, again, just a few yards that he got. It was Austin Thomas getting to him. Clock hits 2 minutes, and Coach DeMarco with a lead and in Lion territory. Looks like he wants to give it one more try to get a first down or even a touchdown if he wants to go for an explosive play, as they are just short of the Sarchione red zone.
Yeah, good point. It'd be just about a 40-yard field goal from here. And so that might be pushing the range.
Yeah.
So he's saying, hey, okay, let's see if we can get something pop free here.
Badger, it's got to be to that right side. Steps up, delivers, caught. Is it enough for the first down, though?
The side judge on the top is coming in with an opportunity to say that looks good.
Orange doesn't think so. We'll look at the replay here.
I think he's going to be a yard short.
It's going to be really close, but it did look short from the get. Valiant effort by Northwest, but I don't know that it's enough.
It was a great pass and a great catch working back to your quarterback. Yeah. You're just hoping that you have enough stick distance is what we used to call. Do you get your stick distance for your first down? And he came off of the stick distance just a little bit, but it's still nicely executed play.
Now, we talked about coaching staffs, right, Mike? John DeMarco's got to communicate with his group. Number 1, going for it. Number 2, how do they want to try and get that first down on that play?
Absolutely. So you go to your trust at that point. What's our best 10-yard opportunity here that's probably in the air? And so he went to a good curl route. They pried it open, had a nice throwing lane, just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, so Northwest not going to get that first down. Do want to mention, of course, when this one's over, no matter what happens, stay tuned with us. We will have your Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game. The winner of that gets a $25 gift card. So, if it per se is Parker Kraft, he'll be eating good after a performance like that. And, of course, our Sugardale Key Play Replay. Man, is that going to be tough to pick, as we have had so many amazing plays in this one. 36-27, the Lions have just been given new life to get their offense back on track. Fry over the middle. It is incomplete, in and out of the hands of his receiver. He was looking for Schriebman. And with a minute 18 left, we'll kick it down to Frank Cilona. Any update on Russell Ty there, Frank?
No, he's back out on the field, but still, like Mike said earlier, hands on the hip. I mean, that's just a sign of just a tired player.
And what a game to be a part of right now. He's playing all three phases and at a high level. Ty will get a carry here. Northwest, their defense really catching up to him.
Yep, but we say in coaching now, Northwest is winning the A-B gaps on both sides. So it simply means the gap by the center is called A on either side, and then beside the guard and the tackle is B. So Northwest is winning the A-B, which means it's harder running position for Ty.
Under a minute to play in the third. Fry's got a pass. He's got an open man, makes the catch, got to get to that sideline for the first down. Northwest had him short, but he dove forward.
It's going to be close. Maybe right at it to a half a yard pass. First down, giving him the first down.
To number 3, Eli Robinson. Tackled by
And
number
he
6,
got it.
Logan Allen.
Yep, they're going to give him that first, as Mike just said there.
It's a nice concept play to get Robinson from that slot position out in there, and he just basically, it's a wide pitch out. Let the coverage move off, getting the ball and let him run.
Fry puts a man in motion there. Gives up the middle. It is Ty with a nice gain to begin this drive, or this fresh set of downs. And Mike, we talked about Northwest.
He took a tough hit there. Oh, tough hit.
Yeah, Ty down right now as an opportunity he may get looked at. And as Ty receives some attention, we're going to step away. You're watching the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
Novelis Urixville is the world leader in aluminum recycling, and they need you. They have immediate openings for general laborers, equipment operators, and various skilled trade positions. They will start you at $22 per hour or higher, and there are advancement opportunities, and Novelis offers industry-leading benefits. To apply or find out more, go to Novelis.com/careers and search Urixville. That's Novelis.com. Novelis is an equal opportunity employer.
CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Sure, we're all about Stark County, but did you know we have express fixed routes to Akron and Cleveland? Just take Route 81, that's Akron, or Route 4 to Cleveland. Shop, eat, sightsee, catch a game, or visit the other Hall of Fame. We also take veterans to their Wade Park appointments for free. Plan your next trip to Akron or Cleveland, and SARTA will get you there. That's how you get into SARTA, and where you get super SARTA smart.
Big play there for Orange as the Lions get a quick first down. Pass from Fry to Abramson here. Good drop back and good delivery, Mike. Their quarterback really getting comfortable late when they need it.
Yep, they covered Abramson up as a true tight end that time, so he hid, and then they freed him up across the middle.
Ty out with an injury right now as they'll have to find something new in the running game. Cole Schriebman takes it to that left side. Talk about another guy that's had to adjust his role. Receiver, but a lot of carries right now. Bob, when you get a chance, how many carries does Schriebman have?
5 carries, 25 yards. He also has 3 catches for 12 yards.
So another key option for Orange. And right now, Mike, let's break down game plan a little bit as we head to the fourth quarter. Great game, 36-27. A lot happening here. You got to watch the clock. You got to score. And then you also got to make sure your team is not tired out with everything that's been happening.
Yeah, it's a good spot almost for everybody to take a breath. When you take a look at the score at 36-27 and all that's gone on, let's go right to it. If you're Orange, you've got to make sure that you're still mixing it up. So you're going to see the ball in the air maybe just a little bit more, particularly because they freed up a couple of routes right now that give them confidence. We'll see what's up with Ty, certainly, as he re-enters or not. So if you're Orange, you're looking for that good mix, but you're probably going to tip that throw game just a little bit more. Northwest on the other side, you are now managing clock as a friend, and you want to make sure that you're still having your identity. So that means those pulling guards and tackles and getting the ball up inside to one real special runner tonight that we've been talking about over and over.
Good breakdown there from Michaelina as Fry throws over the middle. A little bit of contact. I was looking at the wrong receiver there as they deliver it to the far right. And a nice catch. First time tonight we have seen Jacob DeCepeda. So as Fry gets comfortable throwing, he's incorporating more and more receivers.
Yeah, it was a great little route. They did a post over the middle to keep the safety out, and then the outside receiver comes back on a curl. Just prying open space and putting the ball in the space right now.
Working with some speed here a little bit. The Lions get readjusted. 11:30 remaining. 36-27. Northwest leads it. Fry, it'll be a give to Schriebman. Breaks some tackles, and Schriebman's loose towards the 10-yard line into the Sarchone red zone. They need a running back right now. Cole Schriebman's going to step up.
Watch the replay. Northwest gets too far into the backfield with their defensive front, which opens up a natural running lane on that 45-degree angle. And how about Schriebman? Just managing as a receiver, as a tight end, and now as a running back.
If you're just joining us, Parker Kraft has broken the single-game rushing record for a Northwest player, as he is stuck at 392. Is that correct, Bob?
390.
390 yards. Previous record was 355. The Stark County record is 462. Let's move on from that record. 36-27 is the score with 10 minutes remaining as Orange looking to score. The Pepper Pike Orange Lions.
Second down and 9.
Great season at 7-3. Fry, back to pass, back left side, through the hands of his receiver. Incomplete. Tough play to make there as Jacob DeCepeda almost had the opportunity to make this a whole drive for himself.
Boy, it's a beautiful play, Billy, because they use Robinson as a swing route to get your linebacker out of there. So there's your passing lane to the slant route. He just threw it a little high, a little hot, but catchable. But the scheme is just great. Getting the linebacker out of the way so your throwing lane is perfect to your wideout.
Plenty of options here for Fry at receiver. Taking his time, looking to the right. Now we'll duck it, take it. Here come the Indians, and nothing for him up the middle.
What happened there, Billy, was they stacked both sets of receivers on either side, but when you get down tight, there's not a lot of room to run your routes. And that's what happened. It got clogged. So Fry had to take a almost, we used to say, just tuck it and go. Get what you can.
Michaelina talked about it earlier. The Lions want to put points on the board, not come away with nothing late. Extra point is up, almost blocked again. It is good for Orange. 36-27, make it 30 now. 36-30 is the score with 10 minutes remaining. Let's check in with Frank Cilona down on the sideline. And Frank, very important for the Lions to kind of keep up right now.
Yeah, it very much is, Billy. Just wanted to give you a quick injury update on Russell Ty. They spent probably 15 minutes of that last drive trying to get his shoe off. The shoestrings were tied in knots. They finally cut it off, and now they're taping his left ankle. He's still on the bench. They're finally getting done now, and he's putting his helmet back on, so he will be back in the ball game. But they wasted a lot of time just trying to get his left shoe off.
And, Frank, something to note, getting that shoe off and taping an ankle, you would think, okay, on the kickoff, can we just spare him a play? But now take a look. He's on the kickoff team, and as we saw earlier, a great coverage tackler.
Yeah, and he's not walking very good, if you will.
Gingerly.
Very gingerly, yeah.
It is win or go home at this point in the season. We'll go ahead, Mike, with that start of scoring drive for the Lions.
The Orange Lions at 10 minutes on the clock in the fourth quarter. 12-play drive, 3 minutes and 23 seconds to conclude it. 79 yards total, and it finishes up with a 24-yard field goal by Adam Saab.
Logan Allman will return for Northwest, and he'll get up to about the 27-yard line. Flag down, looked like a face mask.
Yep. Receivers right on it, so are you guys, both of you up here. And really the kickoff team, number 21, I believe, was involved with that. He did a great job keeping his outside arm free, which you're supposed to do on the kickoff return team, but he reached with his tackling instead of using a good arm tackle. So we're going to pick up 15 yards on the back end of that return.
Great update from Frank Cilona down on the sideline, plugging us in with what's going on with the Orange Lions star running back Russell Ty, who we'll keep an eye out how much defense he plays late injured.
Right now he is not on the field defensively.
Northwest gets it up at the 42-yard line. Kraft in the backfield. It is a give to Parker Kraft. That left side's open, just has to break some tackles. And I think I saw another flag. There we go.
I think we're going to have a hold there on.
And let's go talk a little bit about the clock here, Mike. You're up, technically a score, up 36-30. However, not exactly a safe score, up only 6. How much do you say to yourself, I really want to take some time off the clock, and how much is in your head of, hey, I need to run my game plan, score, and go from there?
It's the beautiful conversations you just summarized. So it has to be right around your personality. You don't want to take the edge away from your team. So if they see you backing off, they'll not play quite as intensely. So you want to keep feeding them with what they're good at, and you want to stay on the attack. Not risky, just stay on the attack.
9:35 for Northwest to kind of guide their offense through these final minutes. Badgers back to pass. He's got pressure and a problem. Has to throw it into the feet of Logan Allman. So Orange didn't really buy in with any sort of screen or anything. They brought the pressure and a big second with the penalty for the Indians. They got a long way to go here.
That was great recognition of the screen by Orange's front. They came, but very quick you could recognize that they recognized it and dropped right off. And then what a great decision there by Badger just to slice that thing into the ground. That's good quarterback play.
2nd and 17 now. Got a defensive back climbing up for Orange. Badger's looking that way. Now he'll turn to the right and run. Pressure's on. Ducking inside, ducking outside. Finally taken down. Felt like he ran 10 yards. He's only going to get about 2. And that's an athletic quarterback trying to get any sort of gainage he can right now. And Northwest may only get one more drive after this, so they got to play smart.
When you take a look at as your defensive, particularly defensive lineman or a linebacker, and Badger's in open space, it is the hardest thing in the world to say, I need to break down in time to tackle him and not go reaching. So it was great skills at that time that they broke down early and made good form tackle as opposed to leap at him.
8:40 remaining. It is 3rd down and 15 for Northwest. Badger again back to pass. Plenty of time. Steps up, goes rushing. Got to make that decision. He does. Ducks inside. A good chance at the first down, and he's just short of it by about 2 or 3 yards. Tough call to make for John DeMarco right now, and you just saw why Chase Badger is one of the options for Stark County Player of the Year. Excited to announce we will have the coaches voting here in about 2 weeks. When we give out our Stark County awards, I know we get the little comments, this should have won that. It's a coach's vote. Coaches know, they see, they play each other, they vote. So it is a big 4th down. Northwest is going to go for it, or at least try and cause some trouble. Badger puts Kraft right next to him on his hip. It's a give to Kraft. Breaks a couple of tackles, pushes forward. I don't think that pile's enough.
No, gutsy call there. They tried to use the hard count and stayed with the play nonetheless, and Orange was up to the task at the point of attack. They defeated blockers and made a tackle just short of the first down, or as they say, line to gain.
It looked like Kraft even could have lost a few yards there, Mike, before he broke some tackles. So the Lions get the stop, and Frank Cilona, that's what they call a momentum swing, right?
It sure is, guys, and that's huge right now. Getting the football right at midfield here, that's going to give Orange a lot of momentum. We'll just have to see how healthy Ty is here, because they're certainly going to want to take some time off the clock and establish this running game, and we'll see how he feels when he comes out on the field.
Good observation, Frank, as we watch. If he can play, here he comes. It looks like the rest
Doesn't look good.
No, the rest of his teammates are saying, hey, glad to have you back, but let's see how effective.
We'll keep an eye on what Orange wants to do offensively. Fry back to pass, starting to get into a rhythm. Throws it beyond his receiver, over the middle, incomplete. Finals starting to roll in from around the area. So it looks like Perry was a winner over Northling. Congratulations to the Panthers. Again, a team that struggled to get wins towards the end of the season. Once you're in the big dance, it doesn't matter anymore. We'll get some finals from Frank Cilona after this next play. 7:44 remaining in this one. Northwest holds a 36-30 lead. It's a flip. Ty catches. Can he get out of the pressure? No, sir. Parker Kraft knocks him back along with some help from Joe Musleave. And Ty looks absolutely exhausted. Northwest took advantage.
How about that? We've been talking about Parker Kraft all evening with the football, and that was a perfect form tackle. Watch him come up from his outside linebacker position. He reads it. He gets up here, keeps his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage because he can take any cut there, shoulder, and then wraps. Textbook tackling, and the key there was shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 11. Fry delivering towards the sideline again. Short, got a little bouncy there. Incomplete. Didn't get in the hands of the receiver. Friends and Family Credit Union is the one sponsoring these sideline check-ins tonight. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Time to bring our friend Frank Cilona into it. Frank, it's playoffs. All those scores really, really matter.
Yeah, they're starting to come in, guys. McKinley, 42-7 over Normandy. That went almost over. And let's see here. Perry, 34-0. Poland is beating Central 39-18.
Punt back for Northwest, and it'll be a fair catch at the 20. And again, close watch for McKinley and Jackson, right, Frank? If both those teams win, they'll match up next week.
They will, yep. And the other game, let's see here. New Lexington is beating Canton South 55-21. And get some more here. Malvern 28-26 over Lucas right now. That game almost over. Green 35-7 over Riverside. We've got West Branch 31-6 over Hubbard. And Massillon, the Tigers, rolling here 34-6.
And if you are just joining us here on the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, we appreciate you tuning in on YouTube. If you're listening on 1480 and Mix 94.1, as we've just transferred over there, thank you for joining us. It is 36-30. Northwest leads Orange as the Indians take the ball late in this game. And if you're just tuning in with us, it is the night of Parker Kraft, as both teams have scored, but Kraft set a single-game rushing record for Northwest High School. He's right at, actually would have went over now, Bob. What's he at?
391.
391 yards. That's a school record. Needs another 70 or so to get the Stark County record. But as we talked about, Mike, Coach DeMarco, his mind's on the game, the score, not really records and players.
100%. The records come as a result of good scheme and good execution. They're not pursuing that, but boy, when it's working well, those things are a result of.
6:56 to go in this one. Northwest 1st down and 10 at the 19. Badger, give, Kraft, bouncing to the right side. Looking for a hole, finally gets one and begins the push. And a nice gain. Kraft has 5 touchdowns tonight in his effort to make sure his offense keeps moving.
Notice that Orange shifted to the left on the defensive front. They figured out that if Kraft is on the left side of the quarterback, they're trapping and bringing him back to the right. So they adjusted pre-snap. Where he was, they went opposite, and they're predicting it. So you watch a little bit up front. See, he's going opposite of where Kraft is. Same reason.
Kraft again, getting spun around. Enough for a 1st down for Northwest. And if you're tuned in with us wondering how the heck did Parker Kraft get close to 400 yards, well, onto YouTube you go. You can rewatch the whole game now and get a look at that. We'll also be discussing it tomorrow on the Saturday morning huddle. Myself and Kenny Rhoda live at 10 a.m.
I got him at 404 yards now.
There you go. Badger rolling to his left, keeping it, looking for the sideline. Now he gets a chance to get back inside. Extra yards to gain to the 40-yard line, and there's a flag.
Flag is down on the pay.
And the flags have starting to add up a little bit here, Bob, between these two teams.
Yeah, this one's going to be on Northwest, so this will be their 6th penalty of the game.
Not ideal late here, Mike Galena, as they are trying to move forward while milking the clock, but while keeping their eyes on the end zone.
Boy, good point. And the penalty is the last thing that you want. You'll take a 0 yardage play as opposed to a negative play because the clock now is your friend. With a first down, that's 2 minutes. Well, now you have a penalty that stops the clock, and you've got added yardage. So it hits you on 2 levels negatively. So penalties become your worst teammate at this point.
Great point. The live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, Billy Beebe, Mike Cilona, Frank Cilona, and Bob Jeffries with you. It is a give to Kraft, an opportunity to create something. He'll get the yards back past the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage. So that's big for Northwest to at least reestablish themselves to a 2nd down and 9.
For sure. We would say that's inside the stick, so it's reasonable. And some things that have been really cool to watch is even as tired as these teams are, they're helping one another up. When they're having good tackling, they're lifting one another up and moving away. Great sportsmanship here in a real tight game when you're tired.
Badger, snap, give, Kraft dashing inside. And an opportunity there to get the first down. We'll see where they want to mark them.
Billy, they're beating.
There it is, first down.
Yep, they're beating Orange's shift. Orange is shifting into the point of attack. You watch. So they've got an extra man there. And watch, shoulders parallel, Kraft. Boom, in behind a block. Boom, back cut inside. That's innate ability there. Shoulders parallel and running to space.
4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. 36-30. Northwest leads Orange. The Pepper Pike Orange Lions causing some trouble for Northwest to try and move on to a chance at play Streetsboro or Cardinal Mooney. Kraft breaks it loose to the 50, to the 40, and blasts through a defender. You thought that would go the other way. Kraft sent him flying into Orange territory, and this is the ideal drive right now for Northwest. If they just erase that penalty, but it doesn't matter now, and now there's another.
It's a personal foul away from the ball, which is going to be problematic for a position coach and his player.
Just mentioning moving past that penalty, having it not matter, and Northwest will have to readjust once again, and those hard-earned Parker Kraft yards not going to count.
Boy, no, just like we talked before, now you've stopped the clock. It saves Orange using timeouts right now because of the down and distance. They don't have to spend it because they know they're going to get decent field position at the end of this.
Another final score rolling in. 2 weeks after Hoover beat Lake, Lake shuts out the Vikings 28-0. The Blue Streaks will move on. It is now 2nd and 25. Back to Parker Kraft. Hits the pile, pushes. Nice little gain, but a very difficult 3rd down coming up. And Frank, kind of an energy kill there for Northwest. What's the sideline looking like?
Well, you're right. It was an energy kill, and the sideline is down right now. They need something big. I don't think they're going to put the football up in the air, though, guys. I just think that that's just too dangerous right here. You'll probably see another Parker Kraft run or possibly Badger just keep it on a rollout. But the clock, like you said, Mike, is their friend right now.
And it's about clock management right now, to your point. Staying in bounds, get what you can here, and get a good special team piece.
And a flag already before that one even begins.
Oh, Orange was offsides.
Yeah, the defensive back stepped into the neutral zone to jam the receiver before the snap. So it's just a misalignment there.
A little bit of help for Northwest to move up. It is a 2nd down and what looks to be about 15 or 14 now. Clock's ticking, 3:30 remaining, 36-30. Northwest leads Pepper Pike Orange as they have rolled into Canal Fulton tonight. Jim Shalmo Field. Excited to bring you this one on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week live. Billy Beebe, Mike Cilona, Bob Jeffries, and Frank Cilona with you. Thank you to the Claxon Communications team bringing us video. If you're not familiar, right now, 1480 WHBC on YouTube. You can watch live this game or any other game we've done this season. We're bringing you our 11th game of the year, so excited to bring that back this season. Late game play, late game dramatics, 36-30. Northwest trying to avoid penalties at this point. It's been a problem on this drive.
The Orange staff believes that the clock perhaps didn't stop where it should have. And so you see the white hat official, he's in charge of making a correction here. So we'll see what they do with the play clock or the game clock.
And I think there was a confusion on downs, too.
Good catch.
So, yeah, I also was.
Because they had third down, and
That's
they
what I
switched
thought.
it to second.
Still second.
Then they moved it back to third, and now it's back at second down.
Second down and 14 is the official call, still being discussed. And good opportunity to mention.
I have it. It should be a second down.
It is.
Get him a phone line to Bob
I
Jeffries
think
here.
Bob becomes New York. At
Yeah,
this point
right,
in time.
right.
And we come away to check this.
Hoops fans, get your tickets now. Tuesday night, November 12th, the Croissant Center. We have all the high school basketball coaches in Stark County gathering. Just like we do our football banquet, they'll speak about the upcoming season. They'll talk about players, things they need to highlight in their programs. We're doing basketball just like we do football. 80 years of football on WHBC, and we're excited to bring you basketball in this upcoming season. Again, that's at the Croissant Center. A question-answer session with Kenny Rhoda. Tickets, reservations, call 330-454-7278. Again, 330-454-7278. That event, always so great for football. Mike, you had a special guest when you came to our football banquet this year.
It's such a great event that Bernie Kosar said, yeah, I'll come down. That sounds really cool. And so he joined us the evening for the football staffs, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Finally settled at second down and 14. Give to Parker Kraft. Orange was ready for it. Not much there. Austin Thomas again. How many times have we seen him get to the running back so quickly?
Well, he defeated his blocker and was an aggressive tackler. So now, if you're Northwest, you want to make sure that you let this clock work. Orange has 2 timeouts left, so they have to decide. Right now, they're probably not going to use one, or they could cut one right now. It's always about how much time you want to try to bleed or extend. So they're going to keep it in their back pocket for their offense. They're not going to try to do anything with it right now.
We saw 2 weeks ago, Mentor Lake Catholic used those timeouts right now to gain a little extra just before halftime. Badger, give, Kraft. No, it's a keeper for Badger. Really had some momentum, but got tripped up short of the first down. John DeMarco went for this, almost the same play earlier. We'll see what he wants to do on a 4th down. Looks closer to about 4 yards this time.
Yeah, beautiful call, because you keep the ball in one of your 2 playmakers' hands. Of course, in this case, Chase Badger. Everybody's thinking and following the guards with Parker Kraft. He pulls it and has a running lane north-south. That was a great play in that situation.
The AultCare Live YouTube Game of the Week. We're going to keep it here. If you are listening on the radio, 1480 WHBC Mix 94.1. Thank you for tuning in with us. Scores rolling in from high school football playoffs. You can check them out on WHBCSports.com. 36-30, Northwest leads Orange late, 2:27, as we are coming up on a huge 4th down. What are you seeing on the sideline right now, Frank, as a big decision to make?
Well, there's a lot of strategy discussion right here. I got a feeling they are going to punt it away after some consideration, but it's best to turn it over to your defense here, I think.
And the defense, as we appreciate Frank checking in with us, Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family, bringing us those sideline reports tonight. Defense has made some plays tonight for Northwest. We'll see if they can do it one more time. And contact after the fair catch, but no call. Kind of a pivot, though, made it look like he was going to run. So a little bit of confusion there, but the Orange Lions really are about to finish the night where they started it, up towards the 25-yard line here, Mike. They'll have 2:21, and I believe they're down to one timeout.
Yep, and you're going to see Northwest keep everything in front of them. Even the slant routes, the curl routes, they're going to make sure reception and tackle. Nothing over the top, nothing outside of you. So the phrase now is deeper than the deepest, wider than the widest if you're DBs. You see the hands going out right now. Take away curl routes, but nothing over top. They're playing cover 2. And they're going to let those zones be filled up.
36-30 is the score. Russell Ty will get a carry out of the gate. Bold call to go with the run here, as Ty both exhausted, and Northwest has seemed to adapt to the running back.
Ty's ankle is very tender. He could not plant and cut. What Orange did there was try to think Northwest was in a more of a preventative pass so we could slide him up inside.
Under 2 minutes to play. Fry back to pass. He'll throw. Caught by Goldman. Dropped by Goldman. Incomplete. Had hands on it, but I think he might have seen the defender coming out of the corner of his eye. Caused a drop. And just like that, bang, bang, Mike, it's third down.
Boy, absolutely. Now, this is where Northwest has to be very good in that you can get a little frisky, thinking, all right, I want to get him in a fourth down situation, but you've got to square up and tackle and break on the ball. It's not the worst thing in the world if they get a first down.
Fry stepping up, pressure's on. Incomplete. What a hit to cause that drop. That was number 34 for Northwest on the contact. Such a big play there for Connor Stevenson. And Orange may be faced with their season on the line.
That's a sophomore making that play, Billy Beebe. What a great, what we call bite the football. His hit came across to where the ball was. He bit the ball on a great tackling form.
Fourth down and 10. Orange has no choice but to go for it. Down by 6. Fry fumbles the delivery towards the sideline, incomplete. On you go, Northwest. 36-30 as the defense is the one asked to get it done for the Indians, and they do. We still have a minute 40 to kill, but Orange doesn't have enough timeouts to prevent the inevitable, and that is the Northwest Indians.
First and 10 Indians.
Right, exactly 100 seconds, so they've got to work that down with the one timeout.
Got a flag, guys.
And we do, as Frank said, good eye there on the flag. We will have Frank kind of keep an eye out for Coach DeMarco towards the end of this one.
Just a sideline warning, guys.
Okay.
Oh, no, they actually are going to mark it off.
Was it perhaps an unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench side?
It may have been, but it was just a 5-yard penalty, so I think they were warned once, and this time they're going to mark it off.
Gotcha.
Against the Lions.
Well, now if you're Orange, your first hit is making the hit, second guy is grabbing the ball. So hit, second guy grab.
It's a give up the middle. That Ullman getting towards the goal line. And
got a
flag down. See if that was Ullman or Kraft. That was Parker Kraft on the run.
Yep. What I've been impressed with Kraft, his energy here in the fourth quarter,
Still
inside a minute and a half, he looks just as crisp as we saw him starting to get really good there late in the first quarter.
Yeah, and unfortunate to know the yards he's lost tonight, Mike, because of these penalties. Such impressive runs. Probably another 30 yards gone.
Yeah, when you get to such large numbers like this, those become part of a conversation because you did carry the football X number of yards.
And again, at over 415 yards, Parker Kraft now owns the single-game rushing record for Northwest. Minute 33 to kill before the Indians can move on. We'll see if Frank can maybe find that Streetsboro score between Streetsboro and Cardinal Mooney. They will face the winner of this one. And the Lions will use their final timeout. Minute 28 remaining. Northwest has all but sealed up a 36-30 win. As round one, it came down to the wire, Mike. The Lions pressed and pressed and pressed, but Northwest had the effort tonight from their senior running back.
Boy, they sure did. And you think about the infusion of energy of Parker Kraft, because not being with them, of course, you see Chase Badger's numbers, and the reason for that is they relied on him and he executed. Now you've got this 1-2 punch moving on to that next week. That makes them formidable on a level that folks probably wouldn't have predicted because they hadn't seen enough of him. This bodes really well for Northwest. And I know they've got perhaps a tall task if they have to head up to Streetsboro, but nonetheless, they've got a way to handle it offensively.
It's a great thought there. As if you're tuned in with us, 1480 WHBC Mix 94.1 and the live AultCare YouTube game of the week. Northwest, as Orange is out of timeouts now, holds a 36-30 lead on a second down and 14. Should take about 2 or 3 more runs to seal it. So you still got to make sure you're moving forward.
And 14.
Badger He'll keep it himself this time. He's done well going up the middle. He'll continue to do so. Chase Badger, that's exactly what Northwest needed. Clock will tick, and just one more run to move them on.
Hey, Billy.
Yes, sir.
Ask and you shall receive.
There it is.
Streetsboro 42, Cardinal Mooney 21 in the fourth quarter.
So it looked like, as we predicted, Frank, you and I were talking last week.
Yep.
Winner of this one gets Streetsboro next week, and it was kind of crazy because Northwest 8-2 on the year, and they only get one home playoff game. That's kind of nuts to think about, but hey, sometimes the bracket region falls that way.
Yep, those second-level points are powerful.
Badger keeping it to the left, under pressure, just hold on to that ball. Down he goes.
Take a look. I don't know if they need to. They haven't done anything with the 40 yet. I think they're good. That should do it.
On the Indians go. 36-30. Northwest hangs on at home behind an unbelievable effort from Parker Kraft to make this thing happen. We've given enough credit to his teammates too, Mike. We'll get into that more in our postgame. Going to want to stick around with us, our Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game, our Sugardale Key Play Replay, all the stats, final scores from around the area, and in just a second we'll see if Frank can corral what should be a very happy but possibly exhausted John DeMarco after a tough one here tonight. We'll keep our eye on Frank down there as he's looking for coach.
Boy, absolutely. You think about that was a game that had down to the final play before you could exhale.
36-30 is the final. Northwest defeats Orange and moves on what will likely be a matchup with Streetsboro. Again, WHBCSports.com. Tune in. We'll have not only, well, that one will be at Streetsboro, but as we go through the playoffs, locations and whatnot will be extremely important, so we will keep you updated. The website and social media, too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We want to kind of give you that update as a lot of talks to be had. That's a really, really good playoff game.
Billy, think about it. It's going to be the 3 seed, which is Streetsboro, against the 6 seed, Northwest. And always in the back of our mind, who's the 1 seed? That would be Mentor Lake Catholic. But we don't worry about that.
Go ahead, Frank.
All right, guys. Thank you. Coach, you can exhale now. What a ball game.
I still can't. We sure as heck tried to give it away down there at the end. I mean, we were killing ourselves. I don't know. It made it a lot closer than it should have been.
Coach, when you have a guy like Parker Kraft who broke the school record for rushing tonight, I don't know how much of this you know, but it starts up front, and you got to talk about that offensive line and what they did.
Our offensive line did a great job, but Parker Kraft is a really good back, but an unbelievable kid. And he missed most of the season for us, so I'm really glad for him.
It was so good to have him back after that injury, and he's certainly been a godsend for this team, but you got a lot of talent around him as well. Chase Badger did a great job tonight. The defense really did a nice job against a pretty good running back on the other side.
Yeah, they did. We had some lapses defensively, and I don't know. We definitely got to shore some things up before next week.
All right, Coach. Go enjoy this one, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Glad you guys are here. We appreciate that.
All right, guys. Back up to you.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. Thank you, Coach DeMarco, who given us the time and, of course, always very grateful to us, and we appreciate him saying that. Really terrific stuff tonight. A good playoff ball game live on our YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody who tuned in. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got stats from the game, scores from around the area, and we also have to go through our player of the game. Take a guess. Drop down in the comments who should be the player of the game. Let us know. Key Play Replay brought to you by Sugardale and our Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game. We'll be right back with you on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
Saturday Morning Huddle with Kenny Rhoda, Billy Beebe, and the WHBC sports team. How about the big fella rumbling 70-plus yards for the touchdown, Tate? What was that like watching Trevor Burek take it to a distance?
He did what he was supposed to do. He got the ball, and I mean, the whole entire, I just remember pushing Coach Cap. It was just ridiculous. He did not go down. He surprised everybody with his speed, but yeah, it was like mayhem on the sideline.
WHBC Sports. It's more than just the game.
This is Brian Bailey of Old Carolina Barbecue Company. It's pigskin time in Northeast Ohio, and you know that Old Carolina is the official barbecue of football. So if you've got plans to gather at a tailgate or in front of a big screen TV, be sure your buffet line is full of hearty party food. We've got tender hand-pulled pork to make all-pro sliders and hickory-smoked deep-fried wings that will score big points with your party guests. We're covering football fans at our 3 convenient locations in Canton, Massillon, and Alliance. Order online today at oldcarolina.com.
The news of the day, every day, on Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
Paving every alley in the city of Canton over the first 4 years is just part of the plan. Right now, we have contractors who are cleaning these alleys up that haven't been addressed for decades and decades. And literally, there were people coming out of their houses and hugging the guys working for the contractor cleaning these alleys up.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
It is a great thing.
It is a good thing.
1480 WHBC.
What a finish. 36-30 on the live AultCare YouTube game of the week. Northwest defeats Orange and will move on to play Streetsboro. It is win or go home. That is what happens in the playoffs, and the Northwest Indians get it done. Billy Beebe, Mike Cilona, Bob Jeffries, Frank Cilona, we've been with you all night, wrapping up what was really, really fun game. First, let's start here, guys. Our Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game, $25 gift card to this player right here. Mike, many guessed it, but confirm it for us. Who was it, and what were their stats?
All right, I'm going to actually lean into a little bit. I'm going to tip
ahead.
it.
Yep,
Say,
please.
let's give credit to Garber, Cottle, Stevenson, Soptilian, and Harness, the front offensive lineman that opened the thing up for our player of the game, Parker Kraft. Get this, 27 rushes, 426 yards, 5 touchdowns. That is a school record on the ground, and 5 touchdowns paves the way for those 36 points that were up and allows the Indians to move on.
Yeah, an unbelievable performance from Parker Kraft, and he is our Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game. We also want to walk back through our Sugardale key play replay. Bob Jeffries, there was a play that stuck out to you right away, and we agreed.
Yeah, this happened with 8:21 left in the second quarter. This was Parker Kraft's 3rd touchdown of the night. It was a 60-yard touchdown run, put Northwest up 22-14 at that point, and that put him at 252 yards for the game. So just a phenomenal night for Parker Kraft, but this was a key touchdown near the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, one of the more difficult runs for him there is he's almost getting his jersey ripped off. So, again, congratulations to Parker Kraft. He was our player of the game and had our key play replay. Old Carolina Barbecue and Sugardale, we appreciate them. Mike Cilona, as we wrap things up, 36-30 Northwest defeats Orange and we'll move on. Take us through some other stats from this one.
Let's take you down that final stat just to give you a sense of 36-30, but what did the rest of the numbers look like? For Orange, 213 rushing yards, 210 passing yards. What a balance, and credit their quarterback and their skill players for that. 423 total yards, 19 first downs overall, time of possession 24-46, 1 turnover, and 6 penalties for 40 yards. Pretty clean on that side. Flip over to Northwest, 504 rushing yards, and we learned where 426 of those came from. 38 passing yards for total yards of 542 for the game. 16 first downs, 23 minutes of possession. So within a minute of one another of total possession, 0 turnovers, 8 penalties for 95 yards. I know Coach DeMarco alluded to that. He wants to clean some of that up. But end of the day, 2 great teams, evenly matched, and you saw it on the scoreboard, 36-30. Credit to the Orange Lions for a great year. Northwest moves on and bring on the Streetsboro Rockets.
Yeah, that's a big matchup to come. One we kind of predicted, but we also knew, hey, Northwest had quite the battle ahead of them. Malvern, a 40-26 winner over Lucas. Again, our game, 36-30. Northwest defeats Orange. Canton South, their season ends. Again, we want to add a congratulations to every team if they were to lose. Year is done. people are moving on in both their lives and the season just because of a great high school football career for all these kids. So, again, congratulations to all of them. New Lexington defeats Canton South 55-28. Poland Seminary ends the year for Central Catholic 39-18. Jackson and McKinley will meet next week in a matchup at Jackson. As Mike alluded, possibly the real Federal League title on the line there. 24-3, Jackson beats Brunswick. Fairless falling to South Range 56-13. Green 35-14, they beat Riverside. Lake shuts out Hoover 28-20. Maslin, go ahead and do the chant, TIG 41-6, they defeat Licking Heights. And final scores, Perry Panthers 34-6, they beat Northland. West Branch wins 31-6 over Hubbard, and Carrollton falls to Tri-Valley 43-12. So a lot of coverage to come for us on WHBC. We are excited to do so. Mike, any closing thoughts from what ended up being a great game for overall and a great game for Northwest?
Well, closing thoughts from me is you guys do a great job with your coverage. Bob, Billy, thank you guys. Frank on the sideline, certainly all our guys taking care of production. When you get a quality production and then a quality game like we saw, it lifts up high school sports. In this particular way, football, and in our area, Stark County, Northwest moves on, but they move on with a real quality win covered by a quality group of guys. So my closing comment is let's get to that next week and have that same level of quality.
I love it. Thank you to Mike for joining us tonight. We appreciate not only you but AultCare for being a great sponsor for us, and we know what they do for the community, so we appreciate you guys. Want to make sure we shout out the Claxon crew. Casey Claxon running the motherboard back there, production assistant Xavier Bissett, camera operators Evelyn Heyer, and Lillie Perez helping us out tonight in the playoffs. Much needed. Need those kind of people to jump in and help. Bob Jeffries, we bow once again. A terrific night on stats. We really, really needed them, and you came through for us. Appreciate it. Frank Cilona killed it down on the sideline. Interviews, updates, everything we needed to have tonight. Frank came through. I'm glad to do a little play-by-play tonight as we close out what was our final AultCare YouTube game of the week. We did 11 games this year. We appreciate everybody who tuned in. We're excited to see you again next year. And again, 80 years of high school sports on WHBC.
The AultCare YouTube Game of the Week is brought to you by SARTA, Friends and Family Credit Union, CKP Heating and Cooling, Altman Health System, Sugardale Meats, Old Carolina Barbecue, Sarshone Automotive Group, Menchie's Brothers, Novellus, Papa Gyros, and AultCare, because you matter.